What is he have? What is he packing? I think he's already packing his
copyright வருமா copyright வந்தா வந்துட்டு போட்டு
it's an AK lead. I think 4
எல்லா டமாட்டோம் சேனல் ரொம்ப
clean
க்ளீன்
at this point. He's a 2-level lead against Han. He's stolen what? How many buffs at this point? 3 buffs at this point. It's been difficult. It's been difficult. He just getting, hey guys, it's me, Feather Heaven. Where y'all at?
இங்க இருக்கு அங்க வேற ஏதோ இருக்குது
Guys, my investments are working.
இன்னைக்கு கரெக்ட்டா இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன் வாய்ஸ்லாம் அப்டேட் பண்ணிட்டேன் உங்களுக்கு வாய்ஸ் வேணா கொஞ்சம் கம்மி பண்ணி வைப்போமா ஓகே TS டீம் ஸ்பிரிட் இவன பேர் என்னப்பா ஒய்ஜிக்கு பேரே வாயில வர மாட்டேன் ஹாய் மை டியர் ஃப்ரெண்ட் டாம் பாப்பா என்னன்னு தெரியாம பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கேன் என்ன ரீஜியன்னு சொல்ல பார்ப்பேன் மியான்மர் அப்புறம் வந்து இன்னொருத்தன் யாருன்னு தெரியலையே அவனை 2 பேர் தான் நமக்கு தெரியும் எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சதே ஓனிக்கு மட்டும்தான் கேம்ல கேரக்டர் என்னன்னு தெரியாமலே கஷ்டம் நடத்துவாங்க அப்படிங்க இருக்கும்போது நான் வந்து ஃபைனல் நாளைக்கு இன்னைக்கு தான் ஃபைனல் நெக்ஸ்ட் இயர் டிஎல் டீம் இடபிள்யூசியா டீம் டிஎல் டீம்னா இதுதானே டீம் லிக்விட் இது ஃபைனல் எஸ் ஃபைனல் அது தெரியும் இந்த ஒய்ஜிய பேர் என்னது வந்துட்டான் போட்டு PS வின் பண்ணிடுவான்ல இது விவோ 7 தானே 4 மேட்ச் வின் பண்ணணும் ஆளுக்கு 1 வின் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கானுங்க சன்செட் லவர் எப்படிடா தோத்தீங்க அதே மாதிரி இருக்குது நியூ டீம்ஸ் டீம் ஸ்பிரிட் நியூ டீம்னா இல்லையே பழைய டீம் தானே எப்படி தோத்தானுங்க இவனுங்க ஓனிக் அட்டி வெளுக்கிறான் ஹிக்கோ ஹிக்கோ முடிச்சிட்டாங்க டீம் ஸ்பிரிட் அப்ப நான் வந்து பார்க்க வந்தானே மேட்ச் முடிஞ்சிருச்சு சிஎஸ்ஆர் வரியா அப்படியே இது போட்டுக்கிட்டு 2 கிளாசிக்கு போட்டு அப்படியே மறுபடியும் அடுத்தது மேட்ச் ஆரம்பிக்கும் வரும் ஹாய் ப்ரோ ஹைப்பர்லான் ஸ்கியர் வாங்க ப்ரோ அக்லன் ப்ரோ வெல்கம் டு தி ஸ்ட்ரீம் ப்ரோ
Since we've seen Kid Bomba on the Lapu Lapu, but man, he reminds us why it was one of his main picks back in the day. It was literally just last year where every single time Mans was styling on everybody, but unfortunately he couldn't lock it in.
பயங்கரமா விளையாடுவானப்பா கிக் bomba.
They're in the grand finals and he's styling.
He is styling. He is playing very.
இவனுக்கு சவுண்ட் மட்டும் குறைச்சிட்டு this time மியான்மர் vs ரஷ்யா நம்பவே முடியல. ஒன்னு ரஷ்யாவா நீங்க சொன்னவரை தெரியுது மியான்மர் மட்டும் தெரியுது.
Whether it's small, whether it's big, it's really about taking control over the game, influencing the movements, and so far, the composure really leans in on
the tanky heroes வந்து மெட்டா ப்ரோ. இப்போ அந்த tanky heroes வந்து யாரனாலும் எடுத்து விளையாடலாம். அதே மாதிரி சஸ்டெயின் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. XP and டேங்க்ல வந்து டேங்க் வந்தாங்க பாத்தீங்களா கொஞ்ச நாள் அந்த ரோமிங்ல வந்து ஃபைட்டர்ஸ் இருந்தாங்க யூட்டிலிட்டி ரோம் அப்படிலாம் இருந்துச்சுல இப்போ வந்து டேங்க் வந்துட்டாங்க முன்னாடி ரோமிங்ல யூட்டிலிட்டி ரோம் ஆடுறது தான் கஷ்டம் அதுதான் வந்து டோர்னமெண்ட்ல ஒரு நாள் இது பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க இப்போ வந்துட்டு சும்மா வந்துட்டு அல்ட் போட்டு நிக்கிற மாதிரி ஒரு டேங்க் இவன் ஒருத்தன் ஃபைனலுக்கு அப்படி சொல்லி இவருக்கு மூஞ்சியும் புள்ளியா இருக்கு இது பொதுவாக அந்த ரொம்ப ஒயிட்டா இருக்கவங்களுக்கு மொத்தமாக இருக்கும்
in the history books of this tournament here at MSC in Paris, France, and I cannot wait to break it all down. My name is Randy, Brig and LaFell. We are your panel. We are your friends. They are brother and sister. They said you're brother, and I'm now a brother as well. All and sisters were siblings, and that was a team spirit victory. I don't know, what is it about Kid Bomba when he gets going?
About smooth streaming such as viewers will experience buffering.
Oh, I think they both individually had
buffering
there. I think their clips are going to go out on social
media later.
The escapes we saw from Czar Egoist on, by the way, which did not cost them as much, and by the way, which did not cost them as much. And that's just a
அதான்
statement
இங்க
right
வருது
there to show how
நம்ம கொஞ்சம்
Nolan
டிலே
and
வருது
Team
guys
Spirit have already established
ரீஸ்ட்ரீம்
themselves in this game.
நானும்
Because
போடலாம்னு
as
இருக்கேன்
much as you
ரீஸ்ட்ரீம்
don't want to admit it,
போடுங்க ப்ரோ ஏதோ போட்டா ஏதோ காப்பி ரெடி பண்ண சொன்னானுங்க அதான் போட்டு வைக்கிறேன் காப்பி அடிக்கிறாங்க
it's sad that it's true. Yangon could not do anything in this game.
The proof is Han only did 11,000 damage. And let's put that into perspective, right? His roamer, the glue did 15,000. Right, so that kind of shows if you're position 5,
That's a problem.
the one that's supposed to have no farm does more damage than you, which is supposed to be the one moving the map around, then yes, we can definitely see how that's a problem. In fact, I would say Mirko put it
ஏதோ ஒரு பக்கம் போய் உட்கார்ந்திருக்குது
honestly to say that the draft coming in from Team Spirit has amazing
டென்ஷன் காமரேட்லாம் விளையாண்டுட்டு இருக்காங்க
objectives, the turtle as well as the lord, but we don't even get to the point of the lord.
ஒரு பிராவல் போட்டு வரும்
It's all about
அடுத்ததுக்கு முன்னாடி இவன் வந்துவானல்ல
will show the zone control they have later on.
You know, you wouldn't have thought that Nolan would do so poorly. This is a really good hero pick. I think it's a 5. You're flexing it. You know you're getting something a little bit deeper in the pool.
இல்ல ப்ரோ அது எம்எல்டி ஓன் சாங்ஸ் வரும் அவாய்ட் பண்ணா காப்பீட் வர்றதா
Could come out, but this is what they went
ஆமா அது வந்து நார்மலா எம்எஸ்சிக்கு ஒன்றும் ஆகாது பட் வந்து இடபிள்யூசிக்கு வந்து கொஞ்சம் ஏதோ பிரச்சனை வரும் அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க
Harara is in this matchup of junglers.
I think it's because what Nolan wanted to do is essentially the same as what Spirit has been doing. It's just that Harara had more
வணக்கம் வணக்கம் தமிழ் ப்ரோ
of those in and out plays rather than the Nolan could. Because I think
அடித்து
especially
சுடியே
at the glue, you want to stay in the fights longer. You want things to get really messy so you can land your targets and so you could pull in the ones that you want. But Team Spirit have done a great job at just going in when they feel like trying to start a fight, but they can choose to commit or to not commit either way. So it's like they've been always playing and setting up fights on their terms, which I think their lineup greatly specializes in. But for Yangon,
எல்லாம் மச்சான் உனக்கு வராது
just keep the
எல்லாம்
fight
வருவாங்க
going.
நல்லா
Then Han could go and find the pickups that he wants, but he's not really given the opportunity to do so because again, Spirit have just this game that they like, and they just don't fight when they don't feel like it.
எனக்கு ஒன்லி ஒன்ஸ் வந்துச்சு ஐ ரீஸ்ட்ரீம் ஆல் மேட்சஸ்
Out to the lead, Yangon ties it.
ஸோ ஃபார் எக்ஸப்ட் எஸ்டர்டே
And it's a great
ஓ
showcase.
அதனாலயா
They are, but Lfell, when it comes to why they're so good, what did you see in game 3?
Well, I think your question kind of already answers a lot, which is you asked, how does Kid Bomba, like the moment he gets going, everything looks good? And
அடுத்த டிராஃப்ட் வந்துட்டா என்ன
is that
டிராஃப்ட் வரல பழைய டிராஃப்ட் பத்தி தான்
if
பேசிட்டு
you
இருக்காங்க
get punched in the face, you forget about all of your plans, and that's kind of what Bomba did. So first, we got to talk about the change that happened in this draft, which is Team Spirit, they have two things, right? Number one, they have a lot of mobility, right? Where they can move around. And why this is so important is because the fact that they're going up against a glue.
Very.
Right, I ran out of space, but here's the thing. They made it so that this glue cannot really do
மொபிலிட்டியே நூபிலிட்டின்னு ஏதோ இது பண்ணியிருக்கானுங்க
have 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yeah.
These 4 members
லைட்டாக லேக் ஆக
have
மாட்டேங்குது
dashes in their kit, making it so that even if the glue does catch onto them, they can outplay that. And that's the second thing, is that all of these heroes, except for the Belleric, really, they have ways that
ஐயோ ஐயோ ஃப்ளேம் ஷாட் இருக்குது எப்படி
the map just by,
அட பாவிகளா
I would say, the listen
எப்படி அடிச்சேன் பார்த்தீங்களா எங்க அடிப்பேன்னு எனக்கே தெரியாது
aspect that the heroes have.
தப்பாக தான் அடிச்சேன் அதில் மாட்டிக்கிட்டேன்
Skill ceiling, making it so that it's
So,
kind of hard to
this
really predict what's
flame
going to happen. But we're going to be looking at this clip here, and we're going to be looking at
ஓ எம்எஸ்சி ஆமாம் ப்ரோ
that Team Spirit really has with this.
இது வேற இடையில ஒன்று வந்து
And
வந்துருக்கு
again, we talk about how having that first punch is
Haya,
really
haya.
important. We will be seeing how, honestly, they tried, right? YG really tried because we're going to be zooming in. We're going to see Blink, they've been using the flicker, try to get on top of Hiko as well as Sunset Lover, which are...
இவனே நான் டேஷ் பண்ண மாட்டேங்குது வர மாட்டேங்குது
The problem is, again, they have a lot of dashes, making it very difficult for the glue to really do much. So when he does go in, able to dodge out, and all the while we see Kid Bomba here trying to zone them away. Speaking of, we're going to look at all the zone control that they have. Sao is controlling this flank here, Kid Bomba is controlling this side here, as well as
ஊட்டி பார்த்துட்டு இது பண்ணால் ஒர்க் ஆகாதான் என்ன
Sunset
கொஞ்சம்
here in case he controls the arrow. So how does that look like? Well,
நமக்கு ஒரு தூக்கிடும்
Sao has
தூக்கிட்டான்
is here, Kid Bomba is here, and then
ஐயோ எங்கேயோ போட்டுருந்தேன்
it can really go out to anywhere because the arrow has a very long range, and it ended up making it so that
அல்ட்டா போட்டு டேஷ் பண்ணாமலே இருக்கேன்
to secure the turtle. But then the follow-up
ஐயோ
here,
நம்ம போட்டு அல்ட்டு டேஷ் ஆக மாட்டேன்
around how you were all spread out, and yeah, they clumped up together so fast because of two things: mobility as well as just the both the ability of each hero to have a very high skill ceiling, making it
இன்னும்
so
அவனுக்கு
that
விளாட
they
தெரியல
can continue to fight
பூட்டு
once
போட்டுடலாம் ஃபஸ்ட்டு
everything is said and done. So It's honestly less about strategy and more about the coach giving the players a hero that can do so much. It's all about your own creativity. It's all about your own skill. Yeah. It's a draft not many teams can pull off. But the team that can do it, it looks amazing.
It looked like also Blink got caught up trying to find Hiko.
Yes.
And I think they understand the power of Hiko when he gets going. And I think they understand too how if you do kind of tunnel vision, you can lose track of the bigger picture. And so sometimes it's normal, Greg, to focus a little bit too much on that. Now we need to pull back here. Think about it a different way. If you're YG, what's your takeaway now going into game 4? Because you can't really afford to make the same mistake. Giving them a chance to, in this case, would be 3-1, 2 games in a row. A chance to challenge out the next game. What has to shift? It might not be a big one.
Yeah, honestly, it's tough to base it off that game because I agree with you. There might have been some sort of tunnel vision already. There was so much attempt to really lock onto Hiko specifically, and I think that's essentially because that's what you expect from the glue. That's the job that you really want to get from Blink because I don't think the Selena would be an easy target that T2 could really dash on. So, and I guess you really would want to resort to the Harris because it's a much more sustained source of damage when it comes to the team fights. But even if you do get to do so, the zoning, it was highlighted earlier by Lafell. I don't think the others can really catch up. So there has to be a much cleaner communication between the team, between Yamon, if they really want to set their eyes on something, and if they really feel capable of actually committing to that specific team fight. Because multiple times in that game, it just was a clear disconnect, I'd say.
Yeah, trying to get more connected here in this one. And when we come back, we'll have game 4. But also, in the meantime, make sure to check out MLBB and its new crossover with Street Fighter.
செகண்டா ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணி இறங்கி அடிச்சிருக்கான் பாயினா நேரா தள்ளிங்க நீ திருப்பி எப்போ வால்மோண்டு ஒரே ஷாட் சுற்றி போயிட்டானா என்ன ஸ்பீடில் ஓட்டிகிட்டு இருந்தேன் எப்படி சுற்ற போனான் இதெல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கான விடாங்க Listen ஆகலையா லூசி
Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadia City, powered by play.
Well, the stage is set for history here in MLBB. MSC has given us a tournament to remember, maybe one of the best of all time. We know that now that deserves a final that is worthy of your attention. But this one is all about the little things, the details yet again, because the drafts have kept this game pretty. It's really nice on a nice edge, Lafell, and now it's Yangon Galactico's chance to respond after Team Spirit again take the upper hand.
I mean, if they want to win, they got to get first place.
சரி மேட்ச் முடிச்சுலாம் நினைக்கிறேன்
Because at that
அப்புறம்
point, they can
ஹீரோ முடியும் மேட்ச் தொடங்கிட்டு
or force Team Spirit to actually ban out the Herrera, opening up the draft more. Because I really feel like that's one of the big difference in game number 3 is that they're on the second pick. They have more picks, able to get the Claude, but again, letting go of that Herrera does seem honestly quite punishing.
Yeah, especially as we've seen how the mastery from Zar has been exceptional.
Okay, bye. நான் போய் மேட்ச் பார்க்குறேன் மேட்ச் பார்க்கீங்க நானும் இங்கே தான் மேட்ச் ஆகி பார்க்க போகிறேன்
How he actually got away, he still remained alive.
மேட்ச்
Yeah,
தொடங்கணும்னு
sequence. It was a bit too much to handle. I feel it could be very.
இந்த மேட்ச் முடிஞ்சோன்னா அங்கே தான் போகும்.
Yeah, and it's just in the flow. It's a positive effect for Team Spirit. It's
முடிச்சுத்துறேன் இல்லை ஸ்பீடாட்டு.
you got to deal with that again. There's going to be moments that he just escapes, and it's 2 games in a row. He's had too much of that. And on the other side, I think you have to consider that maybe this is Zauer's story. Maybe this is the story of a young jungler who's 16 and starts out his international career on a big stage like this and lifts the trophy, Rafael, because as much as Myanmar wants this, as much as they deserve it, ECA has also brought the heat.
I mean, like, if we're going to talk about story, since the very beginning, Sunset, Lover, as well as Sao, since as early as M1, they've basically made through every international. They might have missed 1 or 2, but the majority, it's always them. And then the lineup upgraded by bringing in Kid Bomba. A lot of personality, but talking to the guy one-on-one, he's very clever in the game, especially about how the laning phase is supposed to be, and then eventually getting Hiko to Mania. I think one of the highest counts of Savages in international tournament, and now completing this lineup, Zauer Egoist. I gotta say, all 5 members have been through a lot, and they're creating history every single time they go to any international stage.
I agree. That might just be a really good way to look at it, especially considering that if they do get to secure the championship here, that means that Zauer Egoist was eventually the key to the breakthrough that Team Spirit has been longing to achieve for the longest time of them being part here in the competitive MLBB scene. But let's see, because there have been certain adjustments as well. Especially in this draft. No more Hiraras coming through.
And you know, I think that is respect on the hero. I think it's respect on the hero, what she can do. I think it's respect on the opponents. And it's just saying, let's make it a non-factor, guys. We don't want the game to go based on who gets Hirara and who gets it 4 times out of 7. We just want to play. And at this point, you see the Uranus back up pretty high overall. I'd say for not seeing him last game at all, or banned, we see him first pick next to Zushin.
Yeah, honestly, very high winner here. YG, they might respond with the Esmeralda, but again, having that Zushin, the Zushin really makes it so that YG might have a difficult time here, because Zushin is incredible in the sense that she can manipulate the team fight, and she's very hard to catch. Just those 2 combos make it very difficult for any team to fight against Zushin.
Yeah, and my only concern is that that will provide for less playmaking
Yes, sir.
for Yangon,
Yes,
which
sir.
I feel like is an essential if
Yes,
you
sir.
just really want to speed things up. So they don't really secure their XP lane matchup just yet. They already know that it's going to be against the Uranus, but this is what changes things.
My goodness.
But this shows that there's a chance that we're going to be playing double fighters. Or, even if it is a marksman, it might be something that influenced the game early, like a Harif again. Harif, Granger, the likes.
Okay, if it's double fighter, Avakito Frey are gone. So it's just mostly the Ruby that could be a potential pickup for Hiko, if that were to be the case. Which again, it could be also some sort of deny towards Ying, because Ying doesn't have a hero just yet. But do they really want to settle with a Ruby if they're playing a lineup that's just going to protect around a Yi Sun Shin?
I mean, I don't mind Team Spirit having at least one other hero that has the crowd control, because the good thing about Uranus, he's hard to kill. The bad thing is he has 0 crowd control. So I feel like Team Spirit, especially when they want to go to team fights with Yangon, they might need at least 1 more, and then Zarigos will be
It's great setup though. They want to get rid of the R-Lot as well. And if they're looking to steal away the Ruby, then it will be looking good for Team Spirit. Yangon might then just revert to other potential background heroes maybe, that they can just commit to finding either Hiko or either Zauer.
இவங்களோட பிக்க ஸ்டோல்
In
பண்ணிருக்காங்க.
this scenario, you
Stolen.
kind of just don't really pour in much into hero synergy again, because this is looking like a really good team fight comp if you want to play around the Baron.
Spirit, if they get something like a Minotaur, it does help out with the sustain as well as the crowd control. Betting on the Harv is good here, because again, I feel like Harv would be the #1 choice for Team Spirit, so that yes, they have 2 scalers, but Harv is still usable even without 3 items.
How far are we missing the fact that Marcel they don't really need it right now? Marcel is still available. I mean, they could take it. I mean, they could take it if they put Uranus in the EXP. Yeah. And of course, at the end of the day, they could also take it on the side of YG, and there's the Marcel.
Yeah.
You're pretty much high rank MLBB now, right? I gotta say. feel like you're just mythic.
Please
Thank you,
admit
man.
what your rank is already.
Thank you, guys.
You're probably not just admitting it to us.
That's my all.
சொல்லிருக்காங்க.
Well, right now for YG, I would say the good thing for them is Team Spirit has a pretty squishy lineup. So if they can get a jungler that can capitalize on that as a finisher, I think it'll be good. I feel like the Eudora in the early game won't be able to burst them out that well. They just need a good follow-up. They need a good follow-up, able to chase. I feel like that's the number one thing YG needs. They need a hero that can chase. The Marcel, the Xin, as well as the Zushin. I feel like Nolan is still okay, but they picked up the box, so they're going back to tank jungle and having the Benedetta and then the Granger picked up. I said they will pick up either the Hive or the Granger because again they just need that early game. But if scaling becomes a thing, the Claude as well as the Benedetta can deal with this Granger. I mean, Claude already has a good lane against the Granger, so I'm liking YG's draft despite not liking tank jungle.
You did say chase, right?
Against Uranasa.
I think the backshot is a lot of chase if they just really want to go.
எப்பறம் லேன்ல கில் பண்ண
I
முடியாது.
have to agree. Yamaha
பண்றாங்க?
introduced something yet creative once again, and I think currently we've been talking so much about the meta rewarding creative drafts. Let's just see if they can pull it off efficiently against Team Spirit this time, who are currently on momentum.
84 battle.
Star likes the draft. Show some hearts to the fans at home and in the stands here.
ஓனிக் இல்லாம போர் அடி.
Feeling good about Team
நானே
Spirit.
ஓனிக் மேட்ச் மட்டும் தான் பார்ப்பேன்.
3-1 up.
எப்படி சிஎஸ்கே மேட்ச் மட்டும் தான் பார்ப்பேன், அதே மாதிரி ஓனிக் மேட்ச் மட்டும் தான் பார்ப்பேன்.
A truly mythical
ஃபர்ஸ்டே போட்டுக்கலாமா ஓனிக் மேட்ச் நடக்கும் போது.
before us, a composition this time for the Galacticos.
சாஞ்சி
Ying on a playmaker with a petrify in hand, and Hiko says, you know what, I'm not purifying this. I will win the lane. I will combo with
Hiko.
my boy Sawo.
Hiko வந்து ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிட்டு வராரு.
This out. I have to see how this is going to play out because
இப்போ எல்லா ஜங்லரும் இந்த ரொட்டேஷன் தான் பண்றாங்க. ஆனா அந்த குட்டி கிரீப் எடுத்துக்கிட்டு அப்படியே ப்ளூ வந்து
generally takes the
உங்க ஃபேவரட் டீம் எது ப்ரோ? எனக்கு ஓனிக் தான் ப்ரோ. போயிட்டாங்க.
It was in a different meta entirely. A meta
ஓனிக் வின் பண்ணிடுவான்னு நினைச்சேன்.
didn't give too much gold. Now the Xin being able to farm really quickly, able to get those items quicker as well. Will it stop that snowball from the box?
பார்த்தா எங்க இருந்து வந்தாலே தெரியல, திடீர்னு வந்து அடிச்சு அனுப்பி விட்டானுங்க.
Already setting their sights on stealing some of that those camps away from Team Spirit.
And this is exactly what they want. I don't know if Yangon planned for game number 4 to go this way, just to understand what the early rotation is going to be from Azar, and then look to punish him later down in the series. Early on, though, I am a little worried how TS is going to play it. First neutral objective doesn't seem very winnable for them, and then once level 4s come around...
லேன்ல பெனேட்டா கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டம் தான் நினைக்கிறேன்.
Hold on.
அது கொஞ்சம் பில்ட்ஸ் வந்து ரொம்பவே கஷ்டம். ஒய்எஸ்எஸ் நல்லா டேமேஜ் வருது.
More movement speed and prio in the middle.
Pellericon low HP.
Team Spirit as Bomba gets tempo up top as well. This is what I'm talking about. The clear
பெனடிக்க தூக்கிடுவாங்க அப்படின்னு நான் எதிர்பார்த்தேன், பட் நடக்கல. இது ஒரு ஸ்டன் விழுந்துருக்குது.
might be in a bad spot now. Sour
இல்ல கடைசி பார்த்து எம்எஸ்சிக்குலாம் கமெண்ட்ரி கொடுக்குற அதே மாதிரி ஆயிட்டு. இதை இப்படி உட்காந்து பார்த்தோன்னா கமெண்ட்ரி கொடுக்க தோணுது இல்லையா?
is mounted shocker. Baits out
மசில் மெமரி.
it's going to be down right as the turtle spawns up.
அவன் பேரே ஆன் தான்.
Such a big win for
டேங்கி நம்ம ஏதாவது சொன்னா ஆன் போடுவோம் அப்படின்ட்டு.
They don't even have to contest the
ஏதாவது சொன்னா
It's just going into the
அப்படி கூட ஹெச்ஏ போடுவோம். அதே மாதிரி அவன் பேரே ஆன்.
Zara with the trade.
டீம் ஸ்பீட் கிட்ட போய் தோத்துட்டாங்க. க்ளீன் ஸ்வீட். ஆமா ப்ரோ பார்த்தேன். 0-3 லாஸ்.
That does show a little bit of priority on who
டட்டில்
has
வந்துட்டு.
the most important job and what they want to get done and accomplished in this.
யாருக்கு கிடைக்கும் டட்டில்?
It's up to anybody who's gonna get it.
ஆக்சுவலா அவங்க மட்டுமே இல்ல, இவனோடும் ஃபால்கனை வைப் பண்ணியிருக்கானுங்களா? வைப் பண்ணல.
They know
3-2.
neutral objective is basically the main win condition of Yangon Galacticos with a utility jungle.
அதான் என்னன்னே தெரியல.
Give it away. They already got some wins. Ball lightning though.
சரியான ஒரு
Sao
டாண்ட்.
blasted.
இன்னும் அல்ட் இருக்குது பிளிங்க்ட்.
Used up Hiko with the flicker out away from the shield unity. So much respect for Team Spirit against this snowball come from YG. Yep.
மேபி ரொம்ப அசால்ட்டா இருந்து ஆடியிருப்பாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
We weren't really seeing from Yangon in game number 3, but here in game number 4, it's completely separate beast. Yangon now actually having
1-0.
much of an economic lead. Oh boy, but they want to make sure that every moment matters here. At the end of the day, still, it's going to be up to Sanji finding that big play at the end to try and chase them down. And I think as long as they are, trying to...
நம்ம இதுனா பில்டாவது பார்க்கலாம், டக்குன்னு எடுத்து என்ன பில்ட் வச்சிருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு.
movable object, they can force anything out. Beautifully done by
அந்த தண்ணியை வந்துட்டு இந்த பிளேயர்
Move. The Crimson Beacon now down. YG
நம்ம தூங்குறதுல கொஞ்சம் நேரம் அதனாலே இருக்கும்.
question mark for YG is still
இன்னைக்கு என்னடா பிளேயர்?
is this enough? Because I don't think it is Gideon, right? With this composition, you need to be the ones controlling the neutral objectives to just stay even. But by doing that, Zaur has just used these little windows of opportunity to get ganks, to get camps, shield unity. Oh, the golden
சரியான ஒரு அல்ட்டு சப்போர்ட் இருந்து இன்னும் டேமேஜ் வரல. அந்த லேட் கேம் கிரேஞ்சரை டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி தான் இருப்பாங்க. முடிச்சிட்டாங்க. நல்ல ஒரு டான் ஃப்ரம் பிளிங்க். சரியாக கொடுத்தாருங்க அல்ட் அந்த இடத்துல. ஹிட் போம்போ ஒரு போட்டு புஷ் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்காரு. ஹிட் போம்போ ஒரு எம்ஐட்டாச்சும் கப் அடிப்பாங்களா ப்ரோ? தெரியல ப்ரோ. நான் இதுக்கு முன்னாடி வந்தாங்களே ஓனிக் வந்து ஃபைனலாக தோற்றுருப்பாங்க ஏபிபி யார்கிட்ட. அப்போ என்ன ஜெயிச்சிருவாங்கன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அப்படியே இருந்தாலும் பார்த்துட்டு இருந்தாங்க. போயிட்டாங்க. நானே ஓனிக் மேட்ச் மட்டும் தான் ப்ரோ பார்ப்பேன். வேறு மேட்ச்சே பார்க்க மாட்டேன். CW கோல்டு வந்துருப்பாரு நினைக்கிறேன். CW இருந்தால் போய் ஜெயிச்சிருக்கோம். CW ஃபேன் கீப் போம்போ வெற்றி வின்னு OSSக்கு சரியான ஒரு கேட்ச் போட்டு தான் செதுட்டாங்க. ரிப்ளே கட்டுறாங்க பாருங்க. சரியான சேஸ் அந்த இடத்துல. டீம் ஸ்பிட் இருந்து ரீக்லிஸ் பண்ணலான்னு பார்த்தேன். பெனியான நடக்கல அந்த இடத்துல. நல்ல கேட்ச். அச்சை ப்ரோ உங்க இன்கேம் நேம் என்ன ப்ரோ? நீங்க ரொம்ப நாளா வரீங்க. போம்போ may not necessarily be the answer if those kills are going to get funneled over to Hiko's side. We've seen how devastating it was in our third place match between Falcons alongside. Oh wait, hold on. Wow, a bit of a strange. Benny வந்துட்டு ஒரு ஹிட் பண்ணிட்டு திரும்பி அது போட்டு போயிட்டாரு. டான் குடுக்குறாங்க மறுபடியும். நான் யூரானஸ்க்கு கொடுத்து என்ன கொடுத்தாலும் வேஸ்ட் ஆனேன். கீழே ஒரு புஷ் விழுந்துருக்குது ஒய்ஜிட்டு இருந்து. அந்த நேம் எனக்கு வாயில நுழைய மாட்டேன். வர்ற M8 நான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வரட்டா மாமி அந்த அந்த ஃபான் இதுல படிச்சிட்டேன் ப்ரோ. அதே மாதிரி சொல்லிட்டு போயிருக்காரு ஓனிக். வரட்டா மாமி டூ M8ல அந்த இடத்துல ஒரு அல்ட்டுங்க. ஒரே ஒரு டேங்க் மட்டும் தான் வந்துச்சு. அப்படியே ரிட்ரீட் ஆயிட்டாங்க. 6 minutes ஆயிடுச்சு. 10th லெவலில் இருக்கிறாரு. அங்கே வந்து பேட்சி 8th லெவல். பார்ப்போம் அந்த 10 minutes 15 லெவல் முடிக்கிறாரா அப்படின்னு. OSS MSCக்கு எனக்கு கமெண்ட் கொடுப்பேன். அதே மாதிரி பார்த்துட்டு எதுவுமே ஆக மாட்டேது. நல்ல ஒரு டாண்டு பிளிங்க்ட இருந்து முடிக்கிறாரு சான்சி. எல்லாருமே லோ ஹெச்பில இருக்கிறாங்க. முடிக்க முடியும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இதாங்க டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் வந்து எல்லாருமே ஓட தான் பார்த்தாங்க பார்த்தீங்களா. அவங்க லோ ஹெச்பில இருந்தாலுமே டீமை காப்பாத்துக்கு ரிட்டர்ன் எதுவுமே வரல. ஓடிடணும். லோ ஹெச்பியான ஓடிடணும். நண்பன்லாம் பார்க்கக்கூடாது. விட்டுட்டு ஓடிடணும். ஜெகுலரை விட எக்ஸ்பீரியர் அதிகமாக இருக்கு. அவங்கிட்ட நல்ல டேமேஜ் இந்த இடத்துல.
Mountain Shocker again. Zauer looking for the angle. Blink. Gonna be caught. Rather to drive. Forced out of him already. That's gonna be the Mountain Shocker that lands on and the pickup and throw back into Hiko's bullets. Good block. Good not body enough block. Damage. Yep, not enough damage, but look at this. This was a 4v5, and honestly, it's a big win for Yangon, getting some pressure on the opposite side. Now that they have an EXP laner who...
தூக்கம் வருது. என்ன ஸ்ட்ரீம் லோட் ஆகுது.
Ultra fast, but also has incredible movement. They're not going to be put in the same scenarios like they did in the previous couple of games where, oh, we got to worry about our side lanes. Oh, we won't be able to get there in time. No. It's a different story this time, and I think that TS recognize it.
It's all about building these waves. It's all about scaling at this point, right? They have a snowball comp.
Lsʀɖ.
They have been able to find those clutch moments even in the late game with these kind of compositions.
கூட உட்காந்து பார்க்கறது யாரா வந்தா நல்லா இருக்கும். போர் அடிக்கும் ஒத்தையில உட்காந்துருக்குது.
Examples of that. So YG can never be counted out even after they've been outscaled.
Yep. And I think the scariest part is the fact that YG have two incredibly fast rotating heroes. And I don't know if they're going to get the punish on this one. Still, Ying using his eye for an eye was thinking that maybe he was going to get hit by the turtle, but yo, Sanji. Real dangerous here using BMI so aggressively. We'll see whether or not TS has the
It's about to be a 4-level lead between the junglers. Drake's gonna get poked down. Rhapsody and the Dead Sonata. That's gonna be the shield unit landing on Sunset 11, but a good golden hour to stop them. A shot from Zauer, killing spree as well. Zauer looking for the opening right now. Goes in, but Ham's gonna win the red tree battle. Rather than try another blazing away coming from Sanjay.
And he's looking for as many cleanups as he can.
Late game Maniac for Granger. Late game Clad ஏதா பண்ணாதான் விட்டு நினைக்கிறேன். பண்ண முடியுமா? புஷ் கொடுக்குறாங்க.
Looked like they had the AoE, but Team Spirit are now the ones knocking on YG's door.
Holy cow. Hiko, something unlocked in him. He just suddenly became Neo from the Matrix.
நல்ல retrieve from backside.
Because this was an incredible play, right? His first zone.
இங்க லாடும் போயிருந்தா ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
And Hiko said, "You know what? Doesn't matter. You're standing too close to each other. As soon as I land it, you are gone."
எல்லாம் குடிக்காங்க.
Feeling it. Team Spirit are feeling it. It's something in the air. Hiko's popping off. Sunset, Samo, Zauer, Bomba, everyone.
You know, before the class, before we even got to the draft, we got to see Mama Bomba walk by. And there was one thing that she said that is really
ஒரு ஹீல் ஆயிட்டே இருக்குது. ஹீரோனஸ்க்கு மினியான் அடிச்சிட்டே இருக்குது, ஹீல் ஆயிட்டே இருக்குது.
How can he not feel like he is him right now as they basically unlock the architecture of Yangon? They're looking for a T2 at this stage, and they're going to double confirm with the help of the turtle bow. They've got the vision, but at the same time they know Ying is nowhere close.
Late game ஒரு காம்போ தான். ஈஸியா முடிச்சிடுவாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Yangon Galacticos again find themselves far behind and
TN ல இருந்து பிளேயர்ஸ் எடுப்பாங்களா இந்தியன் டீம்? அப்படி இந்தியன் டீம் அப்படின்னு இருக்க மாட்டாங்க ப்ரோ. நீங்க பில்ட் பண்ற டீம் வந்து வேற எதுல நீங்க பில்ட் பண்ணி போனீங்கன்னா அந்த டீம் செலக்ட் ஆகும். அதுதான் இந்தியன் டீம் அப்படின்னு செலக்டிங் கமிட்டி அப்படிலாம் எதுவும் இல்லை. இங்க வந்து மாஸ்டர் சீரீஸ் எதுவும் நடந்துச்சு, அதில் வின் பண்றவங்க தானே மேலே போனாங்க. தமிழ்நாட்டுல இருந்து எடுப்பாங்க, பிளேயர்ஸ் எடுப்பாங்க. இவர் ஆடிட்டு இருந்தாரு அந்த அந்த பக்கம் ஏதோ ஒரு டோர்னமெண்ட்ல. லைட் பழைய ஜங்லர் லைட்டு தான் இவர். என்டி சமீன் தான் கேட்கணும், அவரு தான் ஒரு க்ளோஸ்.
Said is how creative you can actually get. You've got set plays, but of course, how do you make it all line up?
I guess it's through YG finding a big combo, but that's so hard to achieve as well.
I think it's a little bit more than that.
Two purifiers are revitalized as well. Now a BOD on Hiko.
Maybe அந்த டைமே MLB நல்ல ஃபேமஸா இருந்து இதனா நம்ம பாய்ஸே போயிருப்பாங்களே விட்டாலிட்டி ஸ்போர்ட்ஸ். நல்ல கோச், அப்புறம் வந்து அவங்களுக்கும் இந்த ஃபெசிலிட்டிஸ்லாம் கிடச்சுன்னா அவங்களே பெரிய டீம் தான் ப்ரோ.
That is given Hiko space. If you go for Hiko, you give space to Zauer. They get the mountain chakra. They see Sanji up top. They go for the burst on the Lord, and it is not going to be contested. Han is way too behind. 3 levels under.
This is fine. This is fine. They still have some decent.
இவங்க சொல்ல மாதிரி ஆஞ்சுக்காங்களா? பேரே வித்தியாசமா இருக்குது. வச்சியே சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தா வித்தியாசம் வாங்கி வரும்போது சாஞ்சியை தூக்க ட்ரை பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு. சாஞ்சி ஓடிட்டு நீங்க டீம் ரெடி பண்ணி ட்ரை பண்ணலாம். இதில் ட்ரை பண்ணீங்கன்னா கூட இவ்வளோ நாளாக ஸ்ட்ரீம் பண்ணி வந்து மொபைல் லெஜெண்ட்ஸ்லாம் எதுவுமே கண்டுக்கல. பெரிய ஸ்ட்ரீமர்ஸே கண்டுக்கல, நம்மளாம் கண்டுக்க மாட்டாங்க. நீங்கள் டீம் ரெடி பண்ணி போனாலுமே கஷ்டம் தான். இங்கே விளையாடுற எல்லாருமே ஒர்க் போயிட்டு இருக்கக்கூடிய ஆட்கள் சும்மா வந்து விளையாடுறாங்க, அவ்வளோதான். இப்போ நானே சும்மா தான் விளையாட்டு இருக்கேன், ஃப்ரீ டைமில் வருவேன். ஒர்க் வந்துருச்சுன்னா அடுத்து ஒரு 10 நாள் 15 நாள் என்ன ஆளக்கணும் ஃப்ரீயாக இருந்தால் வருவேன், அவ்வளோதான். இப்போ கொஞ்சம் ஒர்க் வந்து கொஞ்சம் ஃப்ரீயாக தான் இருக்குது. நைட் அவுட்லாம் இல்லாதனால அப்படி வந்து விளாண்டுட்டு இருக்கேன்.
Keeping those stacks alive, taking a shot on from the turret.
This is smart. TS, they're trying to keep them to that top side to make sure that the bottom wave actually collapses and they can at least net themselves the long lanes inhibitor. That would be great, but they know that they delayed it on purpose, so they're going to take it one by one.
Oh, Bomba baited everything. The ball lightning, the Thunder's wrath. They got no resources now. It's all up to Ying and Blink.
This is
இவர் ஏதோ தமிழ்நாடு டீம் ரெடி பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாரு. ஒரு புது யூடியூபர் வந்திருந்தாரு ஃப்ரீ ஃபயர்ல இருந்து.
they're going to get this too unless
விஐபி கேமரா ஃப்ரீ ஃபயர்ல இருந்து வந்து புதுசாக ஏதோ டீம் ரெடி பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காரு. நேற்று வந்து கூட ஆடிஷன்லாம் வச்சுருந்தாங்க. கஸ்டம் வச்சு அதில் வந்து பிளேயர்ஸ்லாம் செலக்ட் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தாங்க.
They've already climbed over the walls, and as everybody here,
they burned the walls down.
It's gone. They flew by. It's pure devastation on a macro
Big
level.
bombo.
Malefic gun purchased by
பிக் பாம்பா வந்து இப்போ வந்து ஃபேமஸான எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் மாறிட்டாரா.
His flicker to sunset lover again. If that is the case, if he can kite him out, they can maintain his stacks.
He knows the flicker was still down if he caught him.
Hey, he's got BMI. Sanji ain't gonna make mistakes like that, I hope. I hope and pray. We never know in these types of games, man. The pressure eventually gets to some of these players, and we'll either see them rise or fall.
And now we have to take a look at this goal difference. 11,000. Sanji, he was the main man to try to get on Hiko. Zaur as well, but now the Wind of Nature is built for Hiko. You can't even do that. Ying as well.
அப்பா என்ன டேமேஜ் முடிச்சு வேற லெவல் ரேஞ்சர். ஒரு கில் விழுந்ததும் சடனாக சேஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. முடிச்சிட்டாங்க. அடுத்த கில் டபுள் கில். சாவோ உள்ள இறங்கி வரா. சாவோ ரெடியாக இருக்காரு. ஒரு கனெக்டு கஷ்டம் தான். மேட்ச் முடிஞ்சுது. முடிச்சிட்டாங்க. இன்னும் ஒரு மேட்ச் வின் பண்ணால் முடிஞ்சுது. நம்ம இப்போ ஒரு ப்ராவல் போட்டு வரும். History. Not Samuel. Bro.
Man, I want to say comfort picks. Most teams,
They got it. The box show was there.
most teams, especially when pushed into these corners, they start playing the things, even if it's in a bad composition, just to feel comfortable, just to put everything on the line to say that we gave it our best shot. I think Young Guns still have hope, but so far, these mid-games, and especially when it comes down to battling these trench warfares between Spirit
இந்த மேட்சஸ்லாம் பார்க்கறதுக்கு இந்த டோர்னமெண்ட் மேட்சஸ் மாதிரியே இல்லை ப்ரோ.
gone into the hands of Team Spirit if the early
இந்த டிஎல்பிஹெச் ஓனிக்கெலாம் ஆடுவாங்கல்ல, அந்த ஸ்கீஃபுல் ஆட்டு அந்த மாதிரி ஆன மாதிரில சுத்தமாக கிடந்து அடிச்சுக்கிட்டே இருக்க மாதிரி இருக்குது. பழைய டோர்னமெண்ட் மேட்சஸ்லாம் இந்த மாதிரி இருக்காது.
Up until Hiko said, nah,
எஸ்
I'd win. He walks up there. He stays in the back, waits for everyone. The ego.
ஏஓஇ மெட்டால இருக்குது ஏன்னா இப்போதைக்கு, அதனால தான் அந்த மாதிரி இருக்குது நினைக்கிறேன். லார்டு கல்விக்கு ஹலோ வரமாட்டேன். அன்னைக்கும் சரி இன்னைக்கும் சரி என்னைக்கும் சரி காலையில் மட்டும் விளையாட மாட்டேன். இல்லான்னு வரேன் இல்லான்னு வச்சு விளையாடுங்க. நான் வரல. அப்படிதான் இல்லை அவன்கிட்ட கேட்டேன் என்ன ஆக போகுது உங்களுக்கு புரியவே மாட்டேங்கல. இன்ஃபர்மேஷனை வச்சு என்ன போகிறோம். இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்லாம் வச்சு ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது மக்கா. If you need good work, don't rush the workers. Okay.
I guess, well, I'm going to say it, the best team in MLBB in the galaxy. That's right, they are. And of course, that still means YG has a chance to respond. And we know that you watching in Myanmar are still supporting. There is still hope there. But there's just something that Team Spirit, like Mirko said it, is in the air for this team.
எரர் வந்து முடிஞ்சு வருஷம் ஆச்சு, மறுபடியும் அது எரர்னே கிடையாது. லைக் ஓடுதா ஹீரோ சேட் ரேட்டு நியூஸ் ரேட்டு
where you're just so far behind. I think we already saw that from Yangon in the first two games, even maybe. They've been already trying to go for comfort, and now they took a different route. They became a bit more creative. We saw the intention, we saw the potential, but they just couldn't bring it to fruition.
I mean, like, here's the thing. It's hard to be comfortable when you're going up against Kid Bomba because I think I said this yesterday. He is the most terrifying player in MLBB because at this point, I don't know, man. He's a guy of nightmares. Like as the saying goes, you can't reason with the dragon when your head is in its mouth. And the thing that the Kid Bomba has been doing is just pure destruction. And if you want to go for comfort, sure, but deal with Kid Bomba for you to actually be comfortable. Until then, it's not gonna happen.
It's funny because four of the players on Team Spirit, and I didn't mention Zauer, and one of the reasons why is again
சவுண்ட் சரியா கேட்கல ப்ரோ. அது சவுண்ட் கம்மி பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன் ப்ரோ.
and again on the YSS, which has been a
இந்த
talking point.
இந்த சவுண்ட கம்மி பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன்.
Why are you picking it? We haven't seen it work. Still finds a way to make it work. And
MSC யோட சவுண்ட் கேட்டுட்டு இருக்கதா, அதனால ஐபாடோட சவுண்ட கம்மியா வச்சிருக்கேன்.
questioning Rafael, but Team Spirit just feel like they're too comfortable across the board.
And the thing that Zara equates is more about testament of everyone else. Everyone does so much that he's like,
தனியா போய்
waiting for me. Hiko just goes in, gets maniacs, you know, gets a double, gets a triple, and he's like, I mean, sure, I mean, as long as we win, I guess.
Yeah, Hiko Mania is back. He came back in this game, especially. We didn't see a Savage. He was close to getting one. I think a couple times we saw a Maniac from him as well, but the way that he managed this even on a Ranger too. So that's something, right? That's something for Spirit because they went in this game with a lineup with two heroes that you're just not so used to seeing anymore, especially in the current meta, but they find ways to make it work.
And the Baksha, the Benedetta coming out at the very end for YG. It didn't
ப்ரோ ஹெட்செட் யூஸ் பண்ணனும். ஹெட்செட் யூஸ் பண்ணா கரெக்ட்டா இருக்கும் ப்ரோ.
they know they need to do something different.
நார்மலாட்டு கேட்டா எனக்கு லைவ் ஸ்ட்ரீம்ல அந்த அளவுக்கு இதா இல்ல. நானும் பார்த்தேன். நானும் எல்லாம் செட் பண்ணிட்டேன். நானுமே அப்படிதான்.
Very fast 3-2 into a 3-3 and send us to a game 7. But of course, you know, they've got to fix some of the stuff that you guys have pointed out on the desk, and obviously you pointed out within game.
தனியா பிடிக்கிறோம்.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's not that YG didn't try, right? YG, even with the draft, they tried to deal with the arenas of Kid Bomba, but it's... No, at this point, Kid Bomba feels uncomfortable because here's the thing.
ஃப்ரீ சேவ் வச்சிருக்கேன்.
They already have this Boxia, where Boxia reduces the healing as well as shield
மறுபடியும் டிராஃப்ட் ஆரம்பிச்சாங்களா
the
இல்ல?
arenas has. And yet, even with a very bursty, you know, always chasing kind of EXP laner, they still weren't able to do it. So I think this might just stump YG just a little bit because it's not that they didn't have the idea of shutting down Kid Bomba. They invested 2 heroes into it. And yet still not enough because as we're going to be looking at the clips here, again, like one thing that I do have to say that is consistent with all of Team Spirit's wins is the fact that you know about resources, right? You know, like abilities, ults, and all the other things. One other resource is HP. You see that YG sacrificed a lot of the HP to get these neutral objectives, but when you're going up against a team with a Sky Piercer, that's going to be pretty difficult because as we see here, the thing that I want everyone to see is just the amount of HP that YG is seeing here. The poke coming in from the Yisun Shin, Sunset Lover, as well as Hiko. There are 3 members coming in from Team Spirit that can deal damage without putting themselves in harm's way. And even though this one, Zara got it, but I feel like there's still a chance that Adi was able to get it. But this is also another thing. This is not okay really, which is after getting a neutral objective, go for the fight. A lot of teams do this, usually get punished. Team Spirit at this point is an anomaly about getting an objective and then continuing the fight. But again, look at the amount of HP that they have.
Yeah, look at that.
It's only Kid Bomba that is low, but hey, he's healing up every second. So it basically means that he hasn't lost HP. And then look at the HP of everyone else. Ying is low, Han is low. Even looking at Kaiser, basically almost everyone is half HP. We're going to be continuing on the clip to see the trend here. This is one of those moments where it's good attempt coming in from YG securing this by the Belleric using the ult to stop the members of Team Spirit. Again, I'm going to be a broken record here. Look at all of the HP. everyone is full except for YG, and then that just gives Team Spirit an avenue to just keep on going. This is the point where we thought things could turn things around, just because Eudora was able to hit the Thunder Wrap on the 3 members. But again, Kid Bomba being able to on that BMI, Sanji travels back, gets the kill. We're gonna be continuing. This is, I think, the final clip here, and it's just the same thing. I'm gonna try to reverse. Okay, look at Han here. The thing about Han is that he took damage because of Sunset Lover. Sunset Lover in this matchup doesn't care about too many people. It's just Han. What is Han gonna do? He's a boxer. He's just gonna stay there and then eventually get picked up. And something to think about as well is this is a Lord. Lord does true damage, and there's not a lot of heals, right, coming in from Yama. Just look at this, who's healing here? Yeah, it's just the Belleric, but even Belleric, you have to hit someone for him to get the heal. Everyone's low HP, and then everyone from Team Spirit is basically full HP, so they just keep on going in, and by this point, there's enough Sky Piercer stack to help Ahiko to secure that Maniac. So, yeah, I'm sounding like a broken record, but it's because it keeps on happening over and over and over again. That just shows what even our caster is talking about. Something with the pressure, you do crack a little bit, and I feel like how it does with YG is that it couldn't readjust. This draft is about those neutral objectives, but they sacrifice way too much to get those neutral objectives and then gain over a lot of Sky Piercer stacks. That's the reason they lost.
Yeah, a lot of times the game-changing plays, the game-dictating plays really happen during these objectives. It's sad to think that they may have had tools to deal with members one at a time, but the members that they really wanted to deal with the most were members that were out of reach. And it was only really Bomba who was making all of this possible.
He's too much.
He is too much. He is, as he said, inevitable.
Inevitable. It feels like they need a way to deal with Bomba. And I feel like you have to let other things go. You have to lose outside of the EXP lane. I think you have to let Zyra take on what he's going to take on. You can ban the Aurora, and you can let him do whatever he's going to do. But I just think that when Bomba is in the lead, and we mentioned this from the very beginning, where the EXP lane helps the jungle succeed so much, you've now mentioned another layer which is so much more important, which is the spacing. And he is spacing out the rest of YG. They're respecting him way too much. And I don't think it's too much for what he's done. He's clearly been effective. But is there a hero? Is there a setup that they could figure out Kid Bomba has to respect more so that he has to group up so that they can control more of the space? So,
yes, and the answer is, if you look at all of the draft patterns, Bomba's heroes are usually picked first. The one time he was picked last is on that Sora.
That's right.
Right? So as long as the Uranus, Esmeralda, and lights are open, then he will pick it up first. But then, here's where the problem lies. I feel like even with a counter matchup, he can still do it. That's the problem. I mean, like, the idea is that the theory is there. Execution, way different.
That's a good point. Out of picks, out of options. I mean, YG are staring a loss, you know, straight down. And I don't know, Greg. I think how you lose is important. This isn't it yet, but they've got to give something else, a different taste, a different look.
Yeah.
Do you feel like if they're going to go all in on solving one problem, it has to be Bomba? Does it have to be Zyra? Does it have to be Hiko? Sunset? Who is the one problem if you had to choose one they would need to solve?
It's tough because I think they tried to do a lot at once. It's taking out the Barretts already from Bomba. It's taking out the Paquito already from Hiko. It's taking out whatever they can, especially if they're on, let's say, yeah, so I think they're trying to deal with the most difficult ones, just coming out.
But do you then need to go away from taking Claude early and need to prioritize something in the desperation for, okay, we need a better mid laner. If we don't, it's going to get banned out. Like, they're getting Zushins, you know, Eudoras, they're getting picks like that without really working hard for them. So maybe they just need to say, let's let the Claude go. Sanji, you're going to have to pick up a little bit of the slack here. And we're going to force them to say, hey, you want to pick up Bombas? You're going to lose big time in here.
Brigida as well as Raymond, this kind of shows the strength that Team Spirit has, where if there are more bans, it will hurt YG more than Team Spirit. Because here's the thing, imagine if YG bans out 5 EXP laners. Bomba still has something up his sleeve. Like the Lapu isn't contested. And yet look at how strong he is on that one. We cannot say the same thing with YG for now because, like you said, it's always the Claude. If they don't pick up the Claude, they pick up something else. It's not going to be as good because right now this is the biggest strength that Team Spirit has shown. It really doesn't matter what you ban. Our book of heroes is just way more than you.
I agree. Because I think some of the biggest threats to YG and their hero pool as well are even bigger when you look at it at Team Spirit and when they get their hands on it. So it's weird to say, but it's YG right now forced to ban out most of their comfort and their stronger picks.
Yeah, it's true. To be, as you see a little back and forth there, it's just got to be okay. We've taken a lot away.
Decider match
Because if the answer isn't to take away, then the answer has to be either to execute better or to open things up.
I would say the Hail Mary is let Bomba take whatever,
leave Paquito out,
and then completely ignore him. Meaning, okay, ban out the Barats, but try to ignore Bomba and try to basically get the other 4 members. But the reason why that can't happen is we see how Sunset Lover never gets caught. Hiko is also very hard to catch. And Zara Ego is, he has died like, I don't know, maybe 3 times this tournament. I have no idea. So it's easier said than done. Either you ignore Bomba or put everything onto him. Doesn't matter. It's still going to be bad.
Well, Zushin picked up, and I think for YG, that's got to spell a little sense of comfort heading their way. Even though there's nothing exciting about seeing Kid Bumba and Zauer Egoist in those first 2 pick positions for Team Spirit.
You might be right,
Kid.
Kid.
Yeah, you might be right.
I'm just saying you might be right, Kid.
Because it was written Kid Bomba Finals MVP in the placards.
Oh.
If we do, can kind of seal the series here, but speaking of, it's a flex. The Paquito gets
They
open.
leave the Paquito open. I mean, that's the only way to do it.
Damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? No matter what you ban out, something is let through that you're like, come on, man. Why does it have to be like this?
Yeah, which I feel like is still a flex, but maybe they might be a bit more cautious about this because the Juicin showing up would mean that YG might be a bit more okay to doing the fighters in the lineup.
So Guinevere picked up here as well.
Okay, they changed. They changed
Gwen,
the sequence.
Arlet.
And the Arlet, so they don't go for the
Gwen
Claude
most
anymore.
jungle இல்லனா
Good luck on finding a job.
நினைக்கிறேன்.
We're praying for you, buddy. A job is hard to get nowadays. Hey, maybe you can try being a player. Either ways, YG right now, in terms of going for comfort, I like this because this both ignores as well as prioritize Bomba. Because this is a good team fight lineup. A lot of crowd control, a lot of continuous damage. It really does come down to what the roamer is going to be. Hopefully just provides us a little bit more damage. If not, it's okay. The Win can build a concentrated energy and they should be fine with that. So I'm liking YG's opening.
Yeah. Because so far, I think they can use a lot of combos still with this lineup. I think the Guinevere Arlot already in itself is a combo. There's just so much more knock-up, honestly.
I feel like they also have to be careful because, again, Bomba has a lot of heroes. His Alice is good against this Arlet. Not sure if it will get picked up, but stuff like Uranus, High Loss, Alice, all those kind of heroes are good against the Arlet. So, and even Yuzong, so...
This is just one of the first times we have seen a clear shift away from Sanji's comfort back to Ying. And you're right in mentioning that this feels good. They're also taking away the Uranus and they're taking away the Lapu Lapu, which again focuses on that EXP lane. The blue band on the other side because they're still looking for a roam. Beleric and Atlas gone.
Yes.
And so where does that leave us?
So the Alice is still open.
Wait, who else
Atlas
is looking for a job? He's a cameraman now.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, that's good for you, man. EWC is a good event for you to work on. There you go. Shout out to this guy. I was doing a good job though, because if he was terrible, then hey, work for 2 hours, get fired.
Yeah. Oh.
A Fovey. Again, like there's so many counters towards the Arlet, so yeah. But hey, at least they have a Zushin. The Zushin can fight against the Phoveus, same as the Gwyn, so it's not all doom and gloom just yet.
There's nothing else you could have taken away though at this point. They've banned EXP lane and Kid Bumba specials at it
Maybe
as
Paquito
much as
gold
they
bronze.
could without letting an Atlas through. So it's like, I feel like YG's saying this is all we can do.
Now the problem is they know it's going to be a Paquito gold.
Yeah.
So what do they pick up that don't lose immediately?
Bartong.
They pick up the Brody as well as the Badang
Bartong,
here. This
bro.
is basically going all in team fight. One
Gwen
of the worries is
jungle.
that only the Gwyn can handle the long lane, but hey, if you win all the team fights and the game by 11, it's good anyways.
How's the spacing on this? Does this solve that problem of the zone that we've been seeing Team Spirit create for their with Kid Bamba?
I still feel like it's going to favor Spirit
Okay.
more. That's a Phobius and a Paquito who can independently just
Yeah.
find and create
Selena.
the openings, and they finish off with a Selena. Okay.
என்னென்னமோ பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கானுங்க.
So that's, I think, a
Team
keyword
Spirit.
for at least this matchup. Spirit can be more individual.
Paquito
Yawan,
gold,
they are
Selena mid,
desperately required to work
Ari
together.
jungle.
So how YG
XP,
wins if they
oh
punch
yes.
first, and how Team Spirit wins is if they slip the punch and then hit with a haymaker. So I don't know, man. YG, this is a good draft, but requires a lot of good execution
Yeah.
and hoping for your opponents to miss.
Last time Cold Star did something like that before heading to the back room, it was Team Spirit who won. If it happens again, they are not only going to win, they will be the winners of $1 million and that trophy in the middle of the Lenovo Legion Gauntlet. Your MSC champions. Could it be Team Spirit? If they win this game, it will be. But Yangon Galacticos trying to claw it back and force another game. We'll see what happens here as the stage is set for glory.
A set so beautiful that it can only be prophesied. You can hear it in the atmosphere. You can hear it in the wind. This could be their moment. This could be the day, unless Yangon Galacticos can stop them to turn and start a potential reverse sweep. We come here at match point game number 5 here at the Mid-Season Cup 2026 here at the Esports World Cup. And Team Spirit have been so close. They've been working so hard for this. Yet you would imagine that at least for the Yangon Galacticos, that maybe this is God-given.
Could be, especially considering if you look at how Yangon Galacticos have decided to draft, how they've decided to play. Desperate times call for desperate measures. Han, after the purple buff, goes straight into the bush, looking for a gank, looking for an advantage early. And Spirit, as calm as can be, playing around again, punishing those mistakes. They see Han up top, Zara goes down below.
They got to be hyper efficient. Looking at the emblems, the only thing.
Full meta bro Team Spirit. அவங்க தான் champions. ஆமா அவங்க தான் champions. Clear தான் அவங்க bro. Champion பாபு.
And if they
Final
just win
match.
the fights, the neutral objectives
This,
will actually come as well.
Descriptionல Discord link
From
இருக்கும்.
yesterday against Falcons PH for Yangon Galacticos is Han. It's back to just setting up for the rest of the team, being okay, maybe less farm than Zara Ego is, but at this point I think he needs to just accept that. Zara has gapped them in terms of farm in the last 4 games. Even when they were winning, it was Team Spirit who still were able to even it out with for Zauer.
And this is in consideration of everything that has happened in this game, right? They're reading into the behavioral patterns that TS have kind of put before them. In Yangon, you can see a lot of preliminary
At least
early
game 7 வரைக்கும்
motions,
போனா நல்லா
right?
இருக்கும்.
Get that quick
வாய்ப்பு
push
இல்லைன்னு
on that
நினைக்கிறேன்
top
தெரிஞ்சு.
side. Come down to mid lane. Oh!
Miss side chip.
Stun
Punch.
Lance gonna get a lot of damage. Now the Violent Requiem as well. They play for the
Right
strong
over punch
side.
miss
Sanji
ஆகுதுன்னா
is hit.
முடிஞ்சது.
That's first blood over to YG.
Now, as long as they delay this turtle for as long as they possibly can, that's going to be more and more gold falling into the hands of Sanji. Good missile arrow here onto Kaze, but so
Easy
far
turtle தான்.
TS, they
ஏன்னா
don't punish this
jungle
just yet. They
வரல.
got bigger fish to fry.
Another arrow into the
பாருங்க.
Deadly Magic and the poker trick, but Blink
ஒரு
gets
catch
away in
முடிக்க
time,
பார்க்கறாங்க
gets into the
அப்படி.
bush. And Han will still be able to farm up. Now the question is, how do they stop Zauer from snowballing through farm?
Well, it's about making sure that people are there to body block the right targets. Kid Bomba might be in some trouble here.
Violent Requiem
Oh,
into the
சரியான
final flash
combo.
earlier. YG showing signs of life.
They're fighting back. They got
பயங்கரமா
hit on
combo.
chin a couple of times. A little dazed, a little
ஒரு
wobbly.
சுரட்டுல
Doesn't
வந்து
mean
ஒரு
it's
அழுத்து.
over. Blink able to get at least a champion stance out of Hiko. Now golden hours have been dropped down. A lot of the motions that we see on the map for the side of TS is poking and prodding, right? And forcing out ults coming out from every single lane.
And is this combo, the Arlet and the Guinevere, that has gotten them so many wins in Myanmar as well in their MSL. For Team Spirit though, it's again just playing through the meta. It's them just building these leads, and for YG, It's about ganking Bomba again and again.
Understand.
That's a second one back to back.
கிக் பாம்பா விட மாட்டாங்க அந்த மேட்ச் நிக்கறவே விட மாட்டாங்க ஏர்லியாவே அடிக்கணும் ஏன்னா இங்க லேன்ல வீக்கா தான இருக்கு பக்கெட் எடுத்துனால லேன்ல கொஞ்சம் வீக்கா தான் இருக்குது லாங் ரேஞ்ச் வச்சு ஈஸியா அடிக்க முடியுது ப்ராடியால
and losing out as much health as possible. This is a really dangerous game because Yangon, their entire composition, a majority of their early game damage is going to come down from Sanji, but of course the vengeance coming in from Ying, everybody can enable him.
So YG got the lead early. They didn't get the neutral objective, but it's A-okay because they were able to pick up 3 kills. All of them on the hands of the targets you want to see in the early game.
பாடியை முடிக்காம விட்டாங்கன்னா ஈஸியா இவங்க முடிச்சுவாங்க
Now the turtle spawns.
YG முடிச்சுவாங்க
And YG's out of the map. In the Brody side, Sawo able to escape. The arrow lands on Ying, but now it's all a race to get to this turtle.
Yep, they're trying to use the extra bonus movement speed to take first position. Blink back on the mine.
Lane change பண்ணிட்டாங்க பக்கெட்டோ டாப்ல
Gotta
இருக்கான்
get rid and clear these traps as much as possible to deny information from their opponents. But Sawo, he's going for more here, right? Focusing not only on that mid wave, but disrupting that backline for now as they get into the neutral fight.
Zara gets away. Now, instant fire.
சரியா நல்ட்டுங்க ரெண்டே நல்லாவே காம்போ போடுறாங்க
And about Rekim's going to be baited. Fist crack him in. As Han is able to get the Reggie, but Bomba's stuck.
They gotta get rid of him, and now they finally do. Han takes him out, and they even get one more in Hiko. They get a third. It's guaranteed. The snowball has begun for the Yangon Galacticos. 2.6k already, right at the 4-minute mark.
And that's the explosion that we were waiting for Yangon Galacticos.
அந்த early game dominate
In the
பண்றாங்க
previous game,
ஆப்டர் கொஞ்சம் சொதப்பன மாதிரி தான் தோணுது எஸ் மேபி கேம் லேட் கேம் ப்ளே பண்ணலாம் பாப்போம் லேட் கேம் பண்ணாலும் கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டம் தான்
but here it was YG with their comfort AOEing not giving Team Spirit a chance to react.
This is a huge build of confidence for Yangon at the very least, right? Even Ying flickering final slashing just to make sure that he can cover not only Bomba, but just in case somebody was behind him in that bush, he covers those angles instantly. And that's something that right now, TS, hey, early game's kind of done here. Finding these individual targets has been a lot harder because Yangon, they've decided to tactically split up their squad. 2s and 2s. Get your pairings on either side, play around Sanji, and he is going to be the ballista that breaks down the turrets.
That's the siege, that's the catapult, that's the ballista, that's everything. The whole siege unit. He's a very vulnerable target. Bomba though on the Phobius here, not having a good game, now gonna get pinned down again. Has a golden hour, is able to find 2. Now the rest of the team comes corralling on Sanji. Flickering out the safety, but Bomba's gonna be caught in the stun. Now Ying with the final slash into the spatial migration.
Beautiful stuff. This combination between Ying and Han has been ridiculous.
நான் அவர்ட்ட எனக்கும் அவருக்கு கான்டாக்ட் கிடையாது
The truth is, it isn't.
உங்க ஆமா டிசைனர் பேசணும் சொன்னதா என்கிட்ட தப்பிட்டாங்க அது வேற டீம் தான் பேசிட்டு இருப்பாங்க அவங்க நான் கேட்டு சொல்லவா ஃபேப்ரிக் என்னன்னு
This is going to be a pretty tough game for him. His base HP isn't that high. He's going for that concentrated energy, knowing that he's going to be a primary
ஒரு நிமிஷம் லைன்ல இருக்கிறேங்க நான்
of YG. And here we go once again. They find a combo.
Spatial migration and the Violet Requiem. Zao's going to be taken out now. It's Sawo. Double. Oh, they want a triple. Spatial migration lands again. Bomba's low. And Ying picks up the mega kill. Team Spirit can only just look for a trade in the bottom lane.
Yep, chain CC perfectly. Kid Bomba, unfortunately, unable to start using his ult to dodge abilities. Just it wasn't given the space at the time, and more importantly, it just wasn't a free frame for him. I bet he was spamming it at some point in that fight, but he knows that unless it's underneath his turret, it's the only way to keep him safe. And even then, Bomba decided,
bro, அவங்க கால் எடுக்க மாட்டாங்க.
Like this, we'll take the trade. That's all it's going to be. Sawo a little disappointed, of course, but hey, this is match point.
Hello?
It was never going to be that easy.
They want to get Hiko next. Spatial migration already there. Blink. He's going to be looking for it. He finds the punch. He gets the fist crack, and now the pin down with the Violet Requiem.
Oh, this Badang is doing so much work here. There's so many things that Badang can cancel out. Oh, wait, hold on.
Golden hour. Sawo playing around with the Kaize now with the Lantern Flare on Sawo. Oh, almost vengeance coming down as well. Sawo is able to get away. Zaur.
லே அவங்க இப்பதான் ட்ரிம் போட போறாங்கனா என்ன ஃபேப்ரிக்னு சொல்லிருந்தீங்கன்னு ஆமா துணி என்ன துணி
beautifully by Blink.
அவ கால் பண்ணா எடுக்க மாட்டானா
He's back on that comfort. This is a composition that they played many times, whether broken apart, but now finally as a unit this time. War Axe already completed by Hiko. I'm not sure about this one.
Violet Requiem, but this
நான் உனக்கு கால் பண்ண அவரை வச்சிட்டு நீ எடுக்கல அவர் கான்ஃபரன்ஸ் போடுங்கன்னு சொன்னாரு போடு
Sanji in the back, just doing damage, free hitting everybody. Hiko's dead for the 4th time this game.
It's a rat trap. It's a dirty rat trap here from the side of a Yangon. Every single time TS tries to overstep their boundaries, it's instant punish here. And it feels like it never ends. There's just so much CC on Yangon's side.
Hello bro, அவன் கால்ல இருக்கான் bro உன்கிட்ட பேசு.
Send a multiple, and even so, Sunset Lover now losing a lot of the structures from his side of the base. He has a lot less play area, a lot less ways to maintain important vision over key parts of the map.
Right now, Bomba and Hiko are at a combined 0-9-0. These side laners are just not having a good time with Blink, Han, and Ying constantly CC locking them. Not even Sour, dude.
Yeah, Blink has been playing a strong game, but now here comes the conceal. Let's see.
It's kind of crazy. He goes straight on to Kaiser. He's able to escape, but Deadly Magic is right on him. It takes down out of the Golden Hour. Is able to save him for the Battle Requiem, and now it's going to be the all-out.
And now they keep on moving forward. They have to go for the chase. Kid Bomba is going to be left all on his own as Hans chases the rest. Killing spree for Sanji at this stage of the game. Zaur for Kaiser. And of course, the Lord goes into the hands of the Yangon Galacticos.
Desperate from Team Spirit, but that's the only thing they could do. It's either that or they sit quietly in their base waiting for the Lord to come through, and that's a DHS for Sanji.
Holy cow, 14-1. 14-1.
Shots.
And Han, he's more than happy to start using that magic thumb to get in and out of these fights. And again, they're daring TS even. They're saying, you know what? You did this all past 2 games. Not this time. It's our turn to have a little bit of fun. Blow up some steam.
14-1 in our game number 5. This was possibly it for TS, but YG, they're showing how tenacious they could be. They're showing how good they can be in these series and that mental fortitude that they have in a best of 7.
It's a lot of heart here, a lot of heart. It must be really, really exhausting to make sure that you're communicating with every aspect of your team. Usually, the combo is just a 1-2 punch. They've got 3, 4, and 5 ready to set up for you just in case. But now, they're attacking at least top T2, but at the same time, they're giving up on bottom inhibitors.
This is the only thing Team Spirit can do. Again, just reacting to the plays and looking at the trade. Zaur goes in, Blink with a whip on it. Fist crack already there. The Golden Hour saving Bomba. Is that going to be the missile arrow to the back line? And Sanji's able to flick around to safety. Now he's going to Hiko.
They're still going to go forward. Hiko ends up trading, and now they're on the chase.
Bomba again with a dog wave on Sanji, but he's going to get taken down by Ying. That's again in the back line. Sanji leaving the free hits on Sour. Last shot as he gets pinned down, and Blink picks up a double, and Sunset Lover is going to be caught on their turret. Han, right there. Again, the arrow does not land, and Sour is able to keep the minions from coming into the base.
How many more seconds until they have left? Not enough time! And there you have it, a convincing game for the Yangon Galacticos, turning it 3-2.
It ain't over. Not like that.
Oh my God, there's so much heart in these games. There's so much, not only the tenacity, but you can feel it in the play. They are not gonna go down like this.
It's the grand finals of MSC, the most unpredictable
bro அந்த ஷாட்ஸ்க்கு வந்து இப்படி அந்த ஃபாண்ட் நீங்க வச்சிருவீங்களா?
Of course we're going to a game 6. Now the question
அந்த ஷாட்ஸ்க்கு ஃபாண்ட் வைக்கணும்ல bro?
We pray for a game 7. TS fans, they want to end it right here, right now, but God, these games are too good to let go. However, the snowballs have been significant. This game ended 17-2.
College block 2.0 அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ஃபாண்ட். அந்த ஃபாண்ட்
been crushed here, so they need a clean
சரி ஓகே. அந்த டி-ஷர்ட்ல பின்னாடி இருந்துச்சுல அதே ஃபாண்ட் தான் இந்த ஷாட்ஸ்லயும் வரும்.
Going back to their comfort, not just trying to play the meta game. They brought out the box shot, it didn't work out. They doubled down. They said, all right, Han, put him on the Guinevere, put him on a team fighter, put him on an enabler for Ying, for Kaiser, for Sanji, for Blink on the Badang.
சூப்பர் மேட்ச் bro. ஆமா இவனுங்க டிராஃப்ட் போட்டு சொதப்பிட்டானுங்க. போட்டு அழுத்திட்டே கடங்க நடந்து. இதான் நானே பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். இத பார்த்துட்டு எவனாவது வந்துட்டு மூவ் பண்ணி சொல்வானே நம்மள பார்த்து. நல்லா அழுத்திட்டே கடங்க.
So many goddamn times. There's no better way to describe it. He has played so well on his comfort. I don't know if he's going to get it again.
இது ரெண்டு மேட்ச் ஜெயிச்ச திமிர்ல டிராஃப்ட் பண்ண மாதிரி.
I don't know though, because if you want to take away the Arla, you got to let go of some of these meta picks, and Ying is a monster. He's an apex predator, you could say, on those picks.
He's an absolute beast, but we're going to see whether the panel agrees with us. Panel, break it down.
Okay, that means we might be going to another game 6, or could we get a game 7?
Hey, honestly, after how many
You
years?
missed this opportunity right here. I cannot believe you two missed the opportunity for a game 6 or 7.
I failed as a human.
What is They haven't had.
You know what?
I put them on the spot, guys. I think I win.
I failed.
I think I finally cracked you
I am
guys.
disappointed in you and my sauce.
I am.
நான் போறேன் ஒரு பிராவல் தோக்கேன் வந்து மறுபடியும் மேட்ச் பார்க்கேன் இதான் நடந்துட்டு இருக்கு நேரம் மட்டும்
Years break that we have
சரி அப்படி ஆக கூடாது
on grand finals now.
இந்த தடவை வின் பண்ணலாம்
It's been since Myanmar maybe in the grand finals, maybe 6 years ago. Was that 6 or 7? 6. Now they're doing it.
யாராவது வரீங்களா மேட்ச்சுக்கு double 3-0-4
My solo on that. We're trying to make you guys look
இந்த
bad.
லைவ் என்னாச்சு தெரியல லைவ் ஏதோ
We don't have to try. We can do it by ourselves. We can make ourselves look bad. It's okay.
In an
ஓடுதானே தெரியும்
incredible
ஷார்ட்ஸ்ல
game, and they prioritize Ying, and I think the biggest thing about Ying is it's the name we gave him, Undying, but it's more than that. It's the Arlet. It is they don't have an answer for the Arlet. There was no answer on the other side yesterday in the semis for the Arlet, and the Guinevere as a result to follow up. Brig, I know you're pointing at that, saying yeah, that was a big deal.
You would assume they had answers to the Arlot though, because they had Fulvius.
Not Ying's Arlet.
I mean, like, Fulvius does have a bad time against, let's see here, but Dung, Zushin, and in a way, Guinevere as well.
Yeah, that's true. So at least for the laning, you would think that they did, but everything else, Ying was undying. He was free.
Wait, speaking of, I remember one other time Kid Bomba used the Fulvius.
Yeah.
And it was this as well. I think it was against Vamos, where Vamos used Zushin and Hylos. Yeah, pretty good memory. I'm impressed with myself.
Same. He has very impressive.
I can't remember most people's names, but I can remember draft picks.
It's true. He has impressive memory.
That is a pretty good memory.
Only with MLBB. Only with MLBB.
Okay, that's it. But you remembered it was Rhino Day, right?
It's been Rhino
How
Day
did you
for
forget?
3 weeks. How can Rhino Day be 3 weeks?
ஜெம்ஸ் மிட்டாய் எவ்வளவு இருக்குன்னா
This is actually interesting because I think the energy, and especially when you are at home watching and you're looking at this set, you see the 3-1, I think you start to slip into, well, it's looking like Team Spirit. And then bam, Yangon Galacticos answer back, but not just quickly and not just with this Arlet, but convincingly across the board with everyone. And it doesn't look like the same matchup anymore. That's what we hope for the grand final break. How were they able to, and I know, LaFell, you've got some clips as well, turn this around so convincingly? Have they solved something?
I think they got back to what we said about the front lines being just as terrifying as they should be, because
Oh, terrifying.
that
See,
works,
that's
right?
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Which do you prefer, undying or terrifying?
Terrifying Undying.
I feel like we can interchange. If he doesn't die, undying.
And
if he
terrifying if he's like aggro and
Like,
he's like
you
kill.
build on them a little
kills or
bit.
something.
I like him, man. I think use both.
Yeah, I will use both.
இது
but I think
சரிஞ்சிட்டு
I guess a
சரிஞ்சதுல
lot of it started
பில்ட்
with
பண்ண
him.
முடியாது
And these
ஸ்பிளிட்
are
ஸ்கிரீன் போட முடியாதா
these
ஸ்பிளிட்
are
ஸ்கிரீன்
I
எப்படி
think
போடுறதுக்கு
a better combination of their comfort picks.
Yeah.
The Badang is a comfort pick.
Bring
The
the
Arlot is a
Wangali.
comfort pick. The Josin and they pretty much completed what they lacked in the
ரெண்டாவது
first
ஒன்று
game
வாங்கலாம்
or first 2 games, I'd say.
And they let the Paquito go.
Really
I
long
mean,
ball.
that was the first game that they let Paquito go after we got burned with it in game 1, and I think that worked.
I mean, like most things in life, a lot of things can be solved with violence, you know? And that's what we saw from YG. I feel like they understood in the previous drafts, they don't have enough violence.
Okay.
Just get a little bit more. Right? Let's go to the Telestrator, right? Okay, let's go to Telestrator. Thank you very much. All right, so
இங்க
here's
அடிச்சு
the
கொண்டானே.
thing that we gotta talk about, right? The fact that for how many, like maybe 3 games where we see both the Gwyn as well as the Arlet being banned
இப்படி
out.
இப்படி நிக்கிற மாதிரி இருந்தா சூப்பரா இருக்கும் இப்படி வச்சுட்டே விளையாடலாம்
All of a sudden they look
எங்க
amazing.
எல்லா இடத்துலயும் நிக்கிற மாதிரி பண்ண
Speaking of
வேண்டியதானே
why they look amazing is because of all the control that they
பாவி.
have. They have 4 members here with a lot of control. The Badan creates a wall, making it so that you
அந்த
can't
பக்கம் இருந்தா
escape.
எனிமி தெரிய
And then
மாட்டான்
Gwyn jumps in as well. Like there's a lot of chain CCs that this is why I say that this is a very good team fight comp. And I think this is just the comfort of YG. They like to fight, so why stray away from it, right? We're going to be looking at some of the clips here. And then, in terms of the clips, it really is just about abandoning your brain. Don't think about it. We're gonna see how they just jump in and then they just go in for the fight. You like that joke? Yeah, thank you very much. We're gonna see that this Badang make it so that they can't run away, and then at that point, it's easy pickings for Han as well as Yin, right? I mean, like, Han did his job. His duty where... Wait, no, you know what? Never mind.
What did you say?
He is able to go in and enable his team to do well. If they keep this up, this is how they deal with Team Spirit. Hey, Spirit, you like to fight? Well, we like it too. And this clip, this also just shows I would say the range of all the heroes that Team Spirit has, because we see that they are quite far away, and yet once an engage happens with the Badang, they basically get to engage very easily. Look at that range, how quickly they get onto their targets, and I feel like this is the key to victory for YG. Having a draft that can fight at even long distances, making it so that Team Spirit can't respond as well. So I really feel like with the draft that they have here, going back into this one, they were able to shut down Bomba just by having this, by having the Zushin as well as the Win. Yes, the Aura does get taken down by the Phobius, but honestly, as long as you have the Zushin, it's all good. So I feel like for YG, they just have to hope that the Arlet doesn't get banned out, because even you talk about this behind the scenes, like, other than Arlet, what else do they have?
Yeah.
That's the bluff I would want to call at this point. But it also requires team spirit, and I think Cold Star is very smart. He's shown that he set his team up with a lot of good drafts, but an analytical mind would go and say, I think we focus on taking the Harara away all the time. We don't like to give it away. That's been their third ban almost all the time. Now, with the Makito gone, you're still taking the Harara away, but to me that seems like you don't want Sour to lose the matchup to Khan. But if they recognize that if Yin gets ahead of Kid Bomba, this is maybe YG's series, I think they have to now focus some more of those picks onto making sure that the Arlet gets banned, potentially in the first phase. I know it's a risk, but I think because YG won, they might have put the pressure on Team Spirit to respond.
That's actually a really good point, because I think Yangon are not on the same page. They have a different mindset about this. They have a different approach. It's not like they're worried about Czar. It's not like they're very careful about what gets into his hands. It's more of how they can draft accordingly to their strengths, which I think they lacked in the first two games. But now they had much better relationships with each other in terms of picks. So their picks had much better synergy. More harmony. And that was maybe something that we saw became a struggle for Team Spirit this time, because they were maybe a bit too fixated on just winning matchups, getting the winning lane. In the sides, we saw that. You assume that they get that because it's a Pakito that wins over more or less majority of the gold lanes, but the Brody was a bit different. And Kid Bomba on this focus too somehow got to manage the Arlo.
We would like to apologize to Kid Bomba and Mom Bomba and Sis Bomba. I feel like we cast a curse Bomba a little bit too much. We're gonna push back.
We did.
Hopefully it's just that game that we cursed him. Now it should be solid ground.
But at the end of the day, it literally, maybe we're starting to now. Okay, so everything is on. YG got their licks back. Here's the question. Does Kid Bomba have another game as you're waiting in the water, swimming, right? Trying to get back to the shore? Is it going to be Kid Bomba that takes you there? Is that the one who's going to be in the charge, pulling people who can't quite make it, who can't sustain themselves? I think it is. And if you're Team Spirit, and I want you guys to think about this. I don't want you to just take me lightly. Think about it. Lean back. Stare into the sky. Okay. I just feel like that's got to be the answer. That's got to be the focus. It has become an EXP battle for me. That's what my eyes are
100%. You know. And I feel like the way that I feel like even less on the draft, I feel like this is just reminding the players of Team Spirit, like, okay, that's what they can do, right? They have incredible engage. So I feel like if somehow YG gets roughly the same draft again, I feel like this time the players are like, okay, let's just not get caught by the Badang or the Gwyn, and then we should be able to outplay. With that being said, I don't think they will get the same draft, but if somehow they do, I feel like the players will just react much differently this time.
That could be the case. Okay, Pakito was something we said, will we not see it? We didn't see it. That opened up the draft. The Barat's probably going to stay banned. but who will take the onus of banning it? Because the Freya has been consistent, the Fanny has been consistent. If we will see that again, it will be the choice of Ferrara banned, or if we'll see a target ban on red side, which would open up this conversation again for the EXP lane to maybe get an advantage. Atlas has been banned every single game as well, Brig.
Yeah, it's at least ever since the loss that YG went through in the first 2 games, we've never really seen the Barretts nor the Atlas even out there anymore, which I think kind of made it a bit more flexible for the Jusins and the like to come through. But in that scenario, I think the Jusin was a big problem for Team Spirit as well. So let's see who gets on blue side and who gets on red side, because I think that will significantly impact the outcome of this game. We're on flying rounds too, which I think will accelerate the pace. And it's Spirit who gets on blue, but this time,
holy moly.
no Guinevere.
And no Freya. Oh no, but they force Yango to ban the Freya and the Barats and the Atlas. They don't, and this leaves the Ferrara to them, so we see the priority.
Yeah, and I feel like the Gwyn is honestly a good ban because, like I said, the distance itself is already the problem, right? Arlen needs to get close and then we can come in, but yeah, that Gwyn is too much.
But isn't this the same problem that YG will have to face? Aren't they forced to pick up the Paquito here if...
No.
No?
I don't think so. I feel like... No clock.
Well, they have a Brody, yes.
Yeah, I'm just worried that Sanji hasn't really used fighters in the goal play, right? So I'm worried that it's good on paper. Yeah. But if the guy can use a fighter, is this really...
That's why.
Is this really where you want to force it out? Where Team Spirit is match point?
Yeah, that's why, because it's likely to go over to their side. They don't. So they decide to switch it up, and this time, they'll pick up the Paquito.
Could this be a flex?
I'm not sure if it's... Hopefully it is, because I don't want to think that they were just pressured to pick it up.
It could be jungle, it could be EXP.
What if this is EXP? And this
I think it's better. I think it's better EXP, but again, we gotta look at the matchup, because not every matchup the Paquito can win. If Team Spirit picks up the Esmeralda, maybe they have to think about moving the Paquito somewhere else.
But it's nice because they still keep their cards close to their chest. They say this could be that. So Team Spirit can't just pick blindly in EXP. They do have to respect that. What happens if we're going against Paquito? Do we need a winning matchup for that to see?
Because I don't think Yamon has really ever utilized the Paquito in full. I don't think so too. So this is a new hero pick that they will be picking up. It's a clear attempt to adjust from Yamon's side.
Honestly, that's why I feel like this might be jungle. Just because they are a team that likes to win those neutral objectives, and Paquito is one of those that has quite good burst damage with the red tree, so maybe they can take it. Which, by the way, Melissa has been banned quite a few times by YG, and this time Team Spirit picks it up. Let's talk about why this is important. YG wants to dive, wants to win the fights.
Yep.
What are you going to do when she uses the goal away? So I feel like this is the response that Team Spirit has. If you want to come inside, we already have an answer.
Which I feel is something they have to resolve through their mid lane. So the Eudora Gord options are still there, but since they prioritized gold and revealed that it is either jungle or Paquito XP, they might lose out on more options in the mid lane later on.
They keep their EXP open though, and that you know, and again, Paquito can still flex. We know that we still have the Claude going in, so he's not going gold, but they are still focusing on trying to see if they can get Ying an advantage. And even though Esmeralda is out, and that's a great EXP lane, with the Eudora ban, it seems like they're also focusing on limiting the options that Sunset Lover can play.
Which I thought is something they would rather...
Other options, I would say there's three, because I feel like you need long range to do with this Melissa, right? You want to cast some work? I mean, like, we can try. The Farsa. The Farsa has enough damage. The problem is Melissa can get into range. So that's something that you got to consider. Eve also has the range, which kind of, you know, not so great going up against Esmeralda.
No, yeah.
And then the last one is Zetienne, where Zetienne is pretty okay, especially if they want a lot of team fight. The problem is she takes a while.
And I don't think it's either...
That one is Selena, but that one... Yeah, both of them, I'm sure they have good Selena, so why not?
Yeah. Because even the burst is going to be a problem, I feel, for the Zetian. Maybe in the early they can manage a bit, but...
At level 12, it's okay, but getting to level 12 is the problem.
Yeah.
It seems like YG's really focused on hard stuns or potential counter initiation. They want the Paquito to run free, because they think and it's got to do the work of a Harara, right? Because they traded that out, And they're saying we're going to work with Paquito Dora can really stop or create good counter engage or initiation. The Dairoth picked up as well, guys.
Yo.
You know what? Shout out to the crowd. You guys are amazing.
Holy.
Some might even say amazing.
Are we pushing?
Well, the Dairoth gets picked up, so I was right. This is going to be a Paquito jungle. But again, Dairoth has its goods and bads. I would say in MSC we've seen quite a lot of the bad. Like, he can win the lane, but what's next?
Yeah, I think it was Falcons PH2 who were the first ones to use it. Slap already using it. Not necessarily reflects a good standing as KDA-wise most of the time. It's just really to match and answer the Esmeralda, which I think, again, is a question we raised. How they answer Bomba. How can they kind of shut down Bomba?
Yeah.
But Spirit, they've locked in a Valentina and a Gatot Kacha. That's more and more ways for them to stop YG and all their fighters.
I know. That is really rough, guys, to go against. We're looking at that final pick, and it's going to be in the mid lane.
I feel like if they can get a hero with crowd control, they pick up the Rafa. Taking notes from Aurora, and we see the reaction coming in from Team Spirit. It looks like they didn't see this coming. And I like this pick because the Dairoth can shred armor. So it doesn't matter the armor that you have. The Claude and the Paquito will be able to do enough damage. This Rafa giving that sustain.
Whoa.
This is a very interesting draft, and I can see it working.
Well, YG just bet $500,000 on it, because that's what's at stake here. $1 million goes to Team Spirit. Cold Star happy again with the draft. Yangon Galacticos trying to tie it up and send us to a Game 7. What a time here at MSC. I hope it continues as we send it over to Gideon and Mirko.
I agree. Everybody needs to start praying at this point. Everybody is looking for their team to make it to the very end. Here at match point, the pressure is still on Yangon, and they basically have come up with a more interesting draft, a different sign, a different means to attack this potential championship point. We come down to game number 6, and by God, if this isn't a marathon, and almost immediately Sawo starts off with a pretty good taunt here at level 1, just to make sure that Yangon, they can't walk freely.
They gotta. YG, their main win condition is playing through these fighters and just going all in with the healing, trying to out-sustain Team Spirit, so they gotta try to establish some lane dominance at the start of the game.
But இப்போக்கு எஸ்மோதாவை டிராத்தாலையும் அடிக்க முடியாது. ஏர்லியாட்டே சீக்வல் பட் அந்த மாதிரி போனால் அடிக்க முடியாது. அவங்க கொஞ்சம் மிட் கேம்லாம் போகும்போது எஸ்மோல்டா அடி தான் கேட்டா.
Wrath of the Dryads, first invasion here. It's going to be a little difficult. Han is on level 4, but still has plenty of damage, and Sawo zones him away.
Ooh, Sawo with the victory, able to pick it up. Han trying to deal a little bit more damage, but it only lands on Sawo, so that ends up just being a win straight up for Spirit.
And maybe this could be the answer that they were looking for, right? Sanjin as well as Hiko, it's still going to be a little tough between the two at the bare minimum. Both going for bottom charge here. First blood achieved. Oh, maybe. Oh, Blink gets out of there.
Clutch flicker from Blink to get away, to evade from a possible first blood, to send Team Spirit into that spiral of snowball.
Even me antsy. I don't know when the next big play is going to come, but at least we know.
Kai's hit a bit late. Oh my God, it's going to be No way.
How? He managed. He's got like no HP. He's literally at 1. You don't even see the green in his health bar anymore. As now they attack the bottom side. They got the Purify out of Kid Bomba. This upcoming turtle is going to be highly contestable, but Ying needs to dominate. He needs to show control over this lane and make sure that they have first position.
Whoa, Sawo or what? Shaking the bush against Dairoth, gets insta bursted down. Now it's Sawo with revival.
Sustain நல்லாவே இருக்குது. ரஃபலா வந்தா நல்லா இருக்கும் ஃபைட் கொஞ்சம் ஏர்லியாட்டு.
The damage is good. Wrath of the Dryads is already out, but they have to back away from this. This is an unwinnable position for Team Spirit, and Yangon take the very first turtle of the game.
Big taunt Sunset Lover as well with the face check. Team Spirit
வின் பண்ணிடுவாங்க போல இருக்குது YG.
getting a bit too impatient with these openings.
Is it impatient or was it necessary? I don't know. It's a tough call here because now they're going once again attacking onto Kit Bomba's side, and I think it's just a little bit of disrespect coming in from Sawo. Wasn't really expecting to get knocked up out of his taunt by Han, but at the end of the day, it happens. But it's not the end of the world. The lead is still very minute. We haven't gotten to the dangerous 2K territory, but we're basically a quarter to halfway there. With 10 more seconds left on the clock before that orange buff alongside with a little longer. Let's see how TS is going to play, because again, at this stage, you might as well invade that top side, steal away one probably omit the next objective and try to set up to get Sanji's Purify.
Oh, they're trying to corral over Han. Han doesn't land. Now they're all in over.
First, ரெண்டு பேரும் சேர்ந்து வெளுக்குறாங்க பக்கிட்டும் குவாலிட்டி மட்டமா இருக்குன்னா குவாலிட்டி மட்டமா தான் இருக்கும். ஏன்னா ஐபேட்ல இருந்து ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஆகுதுல, அதனால இப்பதான் என் ஐபேட்ல 720 தான் இங்கேருந்து போகும் நம்ம கேப்சர் கார்டில். நீங்க ஒரு கேப்சர் கார்டு வாங்கிட்டா ஐபேட் பிசில இருந்து ஷேர் பண்ணா இதுவும் மறைச்சி போய் அப்படி இப்படி இருக்கும். நான் இப்படி பண்ணிட்டேன்.
This might just be a game 7 if it keeps going this way. We're already in that 2K dangerous territory, and there's no noticeable power spikes that we have to be aware of here, because Yangon will hit it first every time.
A 2,000 gold lead. Now this is getting very troublesome for Team Spirit. And the lead is on Ying on the Dairoth. This guy is gonna start bursting people down, and not to mention again the fact that he should actually just be the support this game. He should just be the support for Han to get those knockout strikes.
Yeah, but that's the truth of it all. That's really the truth. I mean, he can technically be like a cleanup crew at the end because he has his flicker and the ult. But now that he's 4-0-1, you might as well take full control.
Sawo with the taunt just to escape. Han with the rotation, and now take a look at Ying. I think just one jump and a basic attack and send Sunset Lover back to base.
Yep, it's too tough to contest for this neutral objective. Oh,
no,
there you go. Flicker after try it from Blink. Kaize is the one who picks up the kill. Another death on Sunset Lover. Sour able to go for the iframes, but now he's going to be the all-in from Ying. He goes in for time, and Sour low. Revitalize comes around with Bomba. And Sour gets out.
And this is why it's dangerous, especially for a winning lane Dairoth. Once he has that lead, once he has that snowball on top of it all, and a Sky Piercer coming in from Hans, like, it is clear. Ying's whole job, shred, play as much damage as possible, and shred as many targets as you can from Team Spirit's side, and hopefully Han should clean up the rest.
Jump, flicker, nalla flicker.
By the flicker, Guile and Ryu down below.
Peace.
I mean, the Street Fighter gang looking for a T2 down on that bot side. It's forcing a reaction coming out.
ரெண்டு பேர் மாட்டோம்ல, ரெண்டு பேர் தான் இருக்காங்க. விராத புடிக்க ட்ரை பண்றாங்க. flicker நல்ல flicker. நல்லா மூவ் பண்ணாங்க. ரெண்டு பேரும் சேர்ந்து போய் மாட்டாம ஒருத்தர் நின்னுட்டாரு, ஒருத்தர் போனாரு.
It's not bad.
நல்ல
Yangon were definitely in Team Spirit's basement there for a while, but they managed to sneak their way back out. And for now, TS, it's all about scaling at this stage. Zara, I don't think he can really contest it at this stage, not until he gets the War Axe, and even then, I feel like it might just delay his overall power spike. But then nobody else has much of a lead. Even Hiko doesn't have much of a lead.
Yep. But the thing is, whenever you have a Melissa, you can still just play in the late game. We saw that from Vitality as well against Falcons when they were down, what, 5,000-6,000 gold. You can still just wait for the Melissa to scale, then play front to back. For those angles, but look at this lead. 1,200 gold lead in between these players, and it's just everybody who's up ahead 500, 600.
Yeah, they're setting up as much as they possibly can here. They might find something else. Is Blink? He's looking for an opportunity.
Good taunt at this engagement. Oh, he doesn't even have the
சரியான பஸ்ட் கொடுக்குறாங்க ரெண்டு பேரும்.
Sawo trying to save him now. He puts himself in.
இப்போ இந்த ரெண்டு டேமேஜா இருக்குது. அத வச்சு அந்த ஏர்லி கேம் போட்டு அடிக்குறாங்க.
Man, that was a bad direction to
actually.
He doubled dash away from Sawo when he should have gone around Sawo back into his own territory. That probably should have been it. Without the combo points, without the iframes, he just can't get out. He just doesn't have the cooldowns yet to be able to make these super plays like he has done earlier in the series. At this stage, it's starting to get a little dangerous because Yangon, we've seen them with a 5.5. They are looking for everything across the map, every tier 1.
Sunset Lover
6,000 gold ahead.
ஒய்டி வின் பண்ணிரோன போல இருக்கு இந்த மேட்ச் எனக்கு பார்த்தா. வின் பண்ணட்டும். and இவங்கள பார்த்தா ரொம்ப இரிட்டேட்டிங்கா இருக்கு.
Careful my guy. Oh god, that was just one strike. That was just one skill too.
Yeah, and they're saving the combo here. Making sure that they're threatening them.
8-0 ஆமா.
But but just the raw sustain coming up from
அதுக்கு
Young
குறுக்க யாரும் நிக்க மாட்டாங்க.
really difficult to keep on contesting because as much as you want to wait for your cooldowns to come back off, it's just it doesn't matter if you're not getting yourself that net profit.
Yes.
And now let's look at the items real quick because Sawo
அவனே
smartly enough
குறுக்க
decides to go at least to get the chastised Pauldron. The war axe is
இது
still
நான்
under
பெரிய
way
ஆளா இருக்கேன்.
here. Okay, Sawo.
என் வளர்ச்சியை நானே கெடுத்துக்கிட்டேன்
The
நீங்க
AOG
அதே மாதிரி
out of him just yet.
Oh, even with the dive on Sawo, revitalized there, and the Rathan tried as well, but that's going to be
It's in
the
with
only
you again.
double already. Go away right
Marla.
now, so able to pin them all down. The falling star moon locks him, but there's no damage. Bomba!
வெளுத்துட்டானுங்க போட்டு அட்ரா திருப்பி மேனியாக் ஐயோ
Kill flickers out of safety and finally is able
Just
to
miss it.
get a kill on board for Team
இனி
Spirit.
வந்தாச்சு மறுபடி செத்த உடனே வந்தாச்சு எழுப்பி விட்டாச்சு
By the mid lane.
பயங்கரமா இருக்க மிட் லைன் ப்ரொஃபைல்ல புது மெட்டா இறக்கி விட்டுருக்காங்க
Gone right, and better yet, hey Ying, don't let you give the shutdown. It's fine. It's completely okay. Great shred as it was applied on the multiple frontliners, and more importantly, Zara.
யோசிக்கவே இல்ல விராத் வந்து டோர்னமெண்ட் ஃபைனல்ல எடுக்கணுமான்னு சொல்லி டீம் யோசிப்பாங்க அப்படி யோசிக்காம எடுத்தாங்க பாருங்க கிட் போம்பா மூகமே மாறிட்டு கிட் பாம்பாவா மோம்பான்னு சொல்லிட்டு கிட் பாம்பா லோ குவாலிட்டி ஆயிட்டு திடீர்னு
Hope still in the air for Team Spirit. It's so low. But there is still hope because of that shutdown. Now it's all on Hiko. Their wave clear, not that good. So they're going to have to sacrifice more structures as YG secure the Lord for free. As YG have 40 stacks on Han Sky.
So huge right now. This is going to be the strongest point for him in this game. It's only going to get worse for the side of TS. They need to drag this out for another 4 more minutes to get Zara back into position. And more importantly, for Hiko to finish off his items. 50 stacks already. War axe currently underway.
அந்த பிளிங்கோட ஒரு அல்ட் கரெக்டா விழுமா அப்படின்னு பார்ப்போம் தாண்டு விழுந்துச்சு அந்த இடத்துல இவன் சிசியும் ஜம்ப் ஒன்று கட்டோட் இருந்து பட் கட்டோ முடிச்சாங்க பக்கிட்டோ பஞ்சு சரியான பஞ்சு அடுத்த பஞ்சு விடலாங்க மெல்லிஸோட அல்ட் நல்ல ஒரு கேட்ச் எஸ்கேப் ஆயிட்டாங்க டேமேஜ் விழுகுது ஸ்டார்ட் இருந்து முடிச்சிட்டாங்க அடுத்த கேம் போக போகுது வேற லெவல் ஈஸியில பண்ணிருக்கலாம் நியூ சீன் போட்டு டீம் குவாலிட்டி மட்டுமா இருக்கு இல்ல டேங்கி நான் அதுக்கு வேண்டி மட்டும் போடல கமாண்ட் எதுவுமே ரீட் பண்ண முடியாது 2 ஸ்ட்ரீம் ஓடு தான் கமாண்ட் 2 ஸ்ட்ரீமுக்கு ரீட் பண்ண முடியாது அதனால தான் பேசுறேன் அது இல்லாம இதுல போட்டுக்கிட்டு அடிக்கடி போய் இதுல கேம் விளையாண்டு வந்துடுறேன் ஒவ்வொரு கேம் முடியும் போது
Of course,
it
had to be a best of 7 going all the way. Of course, MSC continues to surprise, continues to shock everybody who's watching. And man, what a show. Sure, it's not the closest of games to get us to Game 7. It's been Stomp 1, then Yangon with a stomp, then Spirit with a stomp. It's just going back and forth, but now, finally, it's back-to-back for YG.
Yup. Finally, they've evened up the score somehow. I thought maybe with the draft order, the TS was going to find something else, but Yangon still has some soul left in them. Team Spirit, they got to pull it together here. They're getting a little nervous. They don't even understand that the momentum is starting to build up for the Galacticos.
I have no words.
Could they have written a better story here today? We're going to bask in
just
the fun that we throw it back over to our analyst, and of course, Rain Day.
யாராவது பிராவல் வரீங்களா கேம் ஆர்டர் போட்டு
Game 7 here at MSC 2026 with the Lenovo Legion
வைக்கணும் அவசியமே இல்லை இப்படியே வைக்கலாம் எனக்கு நினைச்சா நான் வைக்க மாட்டேன்
away from right in the middle. The hopes of a nation, Myanmar, represented by YG.
Display
starting for the first time look a bit doubtful if they can close the job. However, this is what we hope for as neutral fans, as those who love seeing esports, who love moments like this. This is what you wish for. I know that despite You wanting to stand up out of your chair? You got. Well, I guess you could stand up. You do have free will. There is a nation in Myanmar who is saying we've reached the grand finals already. It was an M2.
Practice எடுத்தாங்க
Given ourselves a chance to become the new era, the new heroes of MLBB.
Oh yeah, that was terrifying. So we definitely got to see from that game number 6. That was a Dairon who they literally
என்ன பண்றான் கீழே இருக்கறான்
because it was a
ஆக்சுவலி
door.
போயிட்டான்
I mean, like, you can't spell Dairon without die. And that's what
தேங்கி
he
சொல்றது
did
கேலியா
to
பாட்டு
Team Spirit there because let's
தேங்கி
just
ஒரு
say,
நம்புது
Not wrong.
since MSC has been so good anyways,
அடுத்த மேட்ச் ஆரம்பிக்கவே நான் பண்ணுவோம் பாட் யூனிவர்சிட்டி எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் கொடுக்காத வரைக்கும் க்ரோ ஆக மாட்டேன்
good luck to the rest of the game.
இது வந்து என்ன பண்ணணும்னா டிஸ்ப்ளே கேப்சர் இது ஒரு இப்படி
We got the
பண்ணிடலாம்
viewership, we got the games, we got the action, we got the jokes.
இப்படி பண்ணி இப்படி வச்சுட்டாங்கன்னா டிஸ்ப்ளே தெரியும் ஓகே
Been some great games, great
அதனால அங்கேயும் டிஸ்ப்ளே போட்டு விட்டுட்டு
This one
ஸ்டாப்
certainly has got me up there with the best of the best. Heck, it's one of the best of the best.
அப்போ நீ எனக்கு ஒரு கேப்சர் கார்டு வாங்கிட்டான் ஹை குவாலிட்டி
Especially for these 3 weeks in France. I
Power
don't know
ball.
where else you would have put your attention to say
மறுபடியும் கீ வந்திருக்கான்
this level of competition, this
என்ன
comeback,
பண்ணுவான்
this
அது
amount of money on the line for this. I would say group of
Okay,
gentlemen who aren't established pros for 17, 15 years. Some of the people in other MOBAs have been there forever. These guys are still young gentlemen building their lives. $1 million now stands between them.
அடுத்த மேட்ச் வேறு டாங்க எப்படி இருக்கும் குவாலிட்டி
Yeah, and one of the youngest part of this tournament, Zar Egoist, that was painful to watch. That was painful for him. It was a game where he could barely do anything, and you could see it even the post-game stats. He only got like what, 2 orange buffs towards his side, and the rest were just all over to Yangon. He was clearly denied of the kind of performance that we've seen from him time and time again throughout this best of 7.
வணக்கம் ப்ரோ வாங்க ப்ரோ ப்ரோ
I'm sure online.
இன்ஸ்டாக்ஸில் ஆட கற்றுக்கணும் இன்ஸ்டாக்ஸில்
Whether it's undying, whether it's terrifying,
இன்ஸ்டாக்ஸில் ஆடலாம் கஷ்டம்
whether it's defying.
இதற்கு ஒரு கேப்சர் கார்டு வாங்கிருக்கேன்
And I think expectations versus reality.
Hyper
was
ஆனா
in
கரெக்டா
the game earlier. We saw it's not Indonesia, it's not
Hyper
the
தாப்பா.
Philippines, it's Myanmar and
Boost
EAC.
ஆகலாம் மனுஷன்
Given
விளாடுவாங்க
us
இதை
the show
வச்சுக்கிட்டு
that we were hoping for. Yangon Galacticos on the Arlet, on the Dairoth. Yang has been special regardless. Lafel.
I mean, like, honestly, at this point, I mean, we've been setting this up. I think even
Also
like,
click
mainstream
for the
MSC,
skill for the
where
very good.
the EXP laners, they are providing so much for the team. In this case, Ying is special because game number 1 is a lot of chase and crowd control, and game number 2 is a lot of chase as well as damage. Like this guy, having that
Overcome
dialogue is
difficulties
risky in
with
the
skills
sense
and
that
not
if you
fail.
lose your lane, there's not much you can do. So it's a good thing that he won the lane and then
Overcome
expanded it
difficulties
to
with
all across
money
the
of
You talk
friend
about taking that risk in game 7. You talk about what was on the
ஃப்ரெண்டோட
line,
மணியை
sorry,
யூஸ்
in
பண்ணி
game 6. It leads
டிஃபிகல்ட்டிஸை
us to a game 7.
தாண்டி
But
வராங்க
how did they do it? How was it so successful? Under 11 minutes that they won that game. Walk us through it, Lafel.
Well, I'm gonna let my partner do this one because
Did you say partner?
Briggs is amazing analyst.
America.
I'm just a chair.
Hey,
ஃப்ரெண்ட்
okay, I
ஆஃப்
think I
மணி
can
சொல்லிட்டேன்
hold my mic.
மணி ஆஃப் ஃப்ரெண்டை
I mean, if you want me to, I
மாற்றி
can.
சொல்லிட்டேன்
It's okay.
All right.
ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் மணி
now I
எப்படி
know what I
சொல்லலாம்
About draft, do you want to say anything about draft?
ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ் மணி வேணும் ஃப்ரெண்ட் ஆகணும்னு சொல்கிறேன்
The thing is, they
Money,
gave homage
பணம்.
to Rosa and Midnight, so shout out on that.
Okay, I'm gonna press that.
Shout out on the Rafa pick.
Yeah.
Rafaela.
But I think, at least in this game, you left us with a
அடுத்த
question
ban
of how
ஆச்சுன்னா
they were able to accomplish this.
Yes.
11-minute win.
ஆடுனே எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஆல்மோஸ்ட் 40 கேம்ஸ் நல்லா இருக்கு
It
அவ்வளோதான்
sucks to say, but I think it
அவனும்
was
விளாட்லான்னு பார்த்தேன்
mostly
இன்னைக்கு
due
ஆனால் இன்னைக்கு
to
இந்த இது இருக்கு நான் நான் வந்து
careless
இன்னைக்கு
or
இதான்
lack of
விளாண்டுருப்பேன்
from Team Spirit, because I
It's okay,
take
தான்
a look
விளாண்டுருப்பேன்
at this clip that we're looking at right now. Mind you, this was right before Sunset
நீ
Lover
மேட்ச்
and
இருக்கனால தான்
Salvo
இது போட்டேன் இல்லைனா இட்ஸ் ஓகே
were
தான்
actually rotating from mid, and they had full information that no one was there, that their matchup wasn't there, that probably Blink and Kaize were elsewhere, and they still decided to go for this rotation. If you take a look at where Zar Egoist was trying to move,
You sure you don't want me to hold
where's
the
the
mic?
zoom in? Where's the zoom in? Oh, here.
No, no,
here.
no, no.
If you take a look at how Zar Ego, this is not working.
She took it from you so well, too.
Okay.
Now she needs you.
Okay, come on. Let's pull it back. Let's pull it back.
பில்டு வாங்க கைஸ்
So, if you take a look at how
We're
Zar
running
Ego
now.
still decided to
Probably
utilize that
going to do that.
information, I think prior that he already saw Han.
அதாவது நானே க்ளீன் பண்ணிடுறேன்.
Probably went into that thinking that it was just Han, but it was clear that it wasn't just Han. So you see how the game or how the team fight actually turned. Eventually, it was a first blood over to Undying, and he didn't just get one kill off of that. He also got Sao, who just really wanted to help. And this was the beginning of a snowball. I feel like if you were the Rafaela at this point, you could just immediately switch your attention towards, yeah, let's just keep on building up Ying, because he's already taken a huge part of the early game, and that's where they just decided to continue and proceed with the snowball. We have another clip here, which I think is just an emphasis on how Ying is just a huge problem here, and I will be giving it over to my partner for this one.
I mean, you don't have to. Okay, thank you very much. So this is where we see the draft really shines because of that Rafaela. Rafaela is really a big piece here, because the thing that we have to look at is the fact that Ying is fearless in this one, where he can engage into the fight. Because again, looking at the position from the rest of Yangon Galacticos, is we really gotta highlight how Sanji is basically untouched on this Claude, and all the while, look at Kaize. Kaize's positioning is he is in the middle of everyone, right? He is in optimal position to provide heal as well as slow down the enemy team, and this is why having that Rafaela in the mid really makes very fast games, because it makes it so that it's hard for you to make mistakes. Like you have to overextend so hard that you somehow die and give the advantage over to your opponent. So this is one of the strengths where you get a, I would say, a very offensive draft, having two fighters. Doesn't matter if it's EXP Gold or Jungle, EXP, whatever. As long as you have the Rafaela there, you can keep on fighting, extend the lead, and end the game before 12.
Which is very unfortunate. Honestly, we didn't really see Kaize being as efficient.
Oh, sorry.
You're pressing it. You're still pressing it. Because at least before that face check we got to see from Zar, you saw how aggressive Spirit were. They were just forcing flickers out of even the Rafaela from Kaize. They were constantly going for the invades. And I guess it was a bit too much aggression.
Maybe.
That led them to this spot.
And I think that might have been something that Cold Star was mentioning. You saw the reaction when you see the Rafaela. He mentioned something very quickly, very intensely to his team. It might have just been, rah, go ahead, get a win. But it could have also been, guys, we got to make sure this Rafaela does not get off to a good lead. We need to force pressure onto the Dyrok. We can't let this happen. And maybe that's why, because Sour doesn't make those early mistakes like that very often.
We got to look at the numbers here. 32,000 heal, that's actually quite a lot. It also just shows how much fighting that they had. I mean, like, about 14 of the fights is involved with Kaize, 82% kill participation, but this is a support, and he dealt 23,000 damage, so it's not like he did nothing when it comes to chipping the HP of Team Spirit. But with that being said, this is match point, and now we got to look at Kid Bomba as well as Ying. If whoever wins the lane wins the game.
And at this point, that's not surprising.
I see what you did there. Did you see what? Surprise.
Listen, I'm trying to add a little bit more, guys. You know, I love the way that this game has shifted.
I love you.
I love you too. But it's been a little bit like quicksand for some teams. They've fallen into it, and then they couldn't get out. But sometimes the real way to actually get out of quicksand is to move very slowly, and it's to shift your weight. And so, in my opinion, what happened was the weight was falling onto Sanji a lot. They were picking Claude early, and then they shifted the weight back onto Ying, and they said, Ying, do what you do best. Do what got you the nickname. Do what got us here. And now, I feel like they're out. They're even. They're flat. But the problem is, how do you avoid falling in? Because Team Spirit have now seen it twice. Maybe they were the ones who represent the quicksand here. They've had power, they've given it away. They're wanting to set something up yet again. And a lot of the cards have been laid on the table. The Arlot's been banned. The Keto's been left out. I'm setting this up because there is sometimes so much that's happened, Brig, that it's not about anything anymore. It's just about showing up for this one game. Get a lineup you feel comfortable with and outplay your opponents. Is that as simple as it is?
I think it's a simple answer to what Yangon has been lacking in this previous series, because even if you base it off their more earlier and first games and series and appearances here, it's always been Ying who's been the more creative player. He's been the person who can afford to really pull off these more unorthodox picks, and they've been making it work. They've been utilizing the Virus, the Ruby even, and now the Dairoth. And I think that in turn, that shift allowed for Sanji to breathe a little bit more, to just play towards his comfort, to just do what he has to do in lane. But that will just hopefully not become too much pressure on him.
இந்த மினியனை இது பண்ணுவான்டா.
Because there's just so much that he has to do
மினியன் வந்தாலே அது
in this
சூப்பர்.
crucial game 7.
Well, gentlemen, and yes, Vegeta, you're also a gentleman. This is where coaches earn their paychecks, because it's not just the draft, but also how do you calm your team down. We even had an interview where
Goldstar's massaging.
Where Eterna was talking to one of the coaches, like, my job is to keep them mentally well. And let me just say, this is why I like my job, because Ringy asks a lot of questions, but let's be real, none of that's my problem. It's a problem that the team have to solve, and because of that, I don't give a crap. Right now, I'm just enjoying the game. Like, this is the moment after the draft. I'm just gonna be a fan. I don't care what's happening.
And that's the beauty, guys, because Game 7, it's like we've
ஐயோ,
12th round. You know, the bell tolls, and you're just like, who is gonna take it? It is about grit, it's endurance, it's strength, but it's more than that. It's spirit, it's perseverance, it's opportunity, and sometimes it's destiny. We said there is a new era. We said there would be a new chapter written. We already know that. But what is the difference in all the big moments? And you go back again, the Odyssey, a movie everyone's seeing nowadays. You see these big impact moments that change the course of civilization. And when you break it down to the course of esports, there are these one games, these one picks that go, whether it's going to be Myanmar, who are your new champions, or whether it's going to be EECA. Is it going to be Kid Bomba that goes into the crowd hugging his mom, or is it going to be Ying holding up that MVP trophy and undying, becoming the name that echoes around not only Paris, but across all of Myanmar for years to come?
I do have to say, the thing that I like is that I feel like a new chapter has already been written, but like you said, winning this one, I don't see how the domino effect is going to happen. Like, this is such new territories. For sure, whether YG or Team Spirit wins, it will change MLBB. I just don't know how yet.
Same. I don't know what's next. That's the thing. I don't know what's next, how the other regions will adjust, how they will adapt or pick up some of the learnings that we got from this tournament even. Because we've been so used to something different, but they're not doing something different. It's a Pakiro that, again, came in at one of the biggest surprise adjustments from YG.
Wow.
We probably are going to see it again in Jungle, but it's pretty much the exact same draft. They're not changing as much.
If they don't pick up Rob, but they may have something else up their sleeve, and by the speed of how both teams have drafted, I feel like both teams have agreed as like, this is our best draft. We just made that one mistake where basically Zaur walked in blind and you see two people gank him. They're just like, let's not do that anymore, and then we can win.
So is it just the Rafa? Because the Gyroth is also still available, but it's not like they know that there's an Esmeralda coming up, but they decide to take it out altogether. So they're just probably going to go all in. They don't want to react to the matchup anymore, or they want to play comfort. So if that's the case, could we be looking at maybe even a disruptor hero again for Ying? There's the Onslaught.
No Onslaught available. I mean, they're not going to give it, and that's smart. But now the Uranus question comes up. Do you ban Uranus, or do you leave it open and you kind of predict that most likely, if it is open, it's something that Bomba would be comfortable grabbing? That gives you some more information on the side of YG, but it's a risky bet because of the Esmeralda ban.
Yeah, because you don't get the matchup into the Uranus anymore, so you'll have to settle with something different. I mean, I think you can still Gyro into the Uranus, but again, considering that the Rafa might get banned or not, because we don't know if Spirit are really looking to take it out. Okay, they just both take out the Esmeralda Uranus, that's why. So it's really going to be an XP showdown, regardless of what the picks are going to look like.
And I feel like this is their way of opening up the Pakito. It doesn't have to be the jungle now. Esme makes it so that they can put it into EXP if they so choose.
That is a great point, because it was too clear that he might lose that matchup against Esmeralda last time. Now it's not. Dairoth ban, which they're respecting, which means I think they understand this Rafaela could come out, but if it does, I would bet the Cold Star and Team Spirit have an answer now.
I mean, like, they can pick the Rafa now, and then after seeing the entire draft, they can make the decision. Where does this Pakito go? But instead, they pick up the Selena. So interesting adjustment here.
Kaiser, is it Is it his first time? It's his first time on the Selena, right?
I think they used it earlier.
Deep are we going into the Rome? How deep are we going into the XP? Those are the only two picks here.
Are they going back to the Lapu? Because again, there's
I like
a lot.
that. Phoveus too.
There's a. I mean, I don't want to see the Phoveus again, considering that. I mean, like they don't have.
That was what was picked. How deep are we going into the Rome? How deep are we going into the XP? Those are the only two picks here.
Are they going back to the Lapu? Because again, there's
like
a lot.
North America.
There's a. I mean, I don't want to see the Phoveus again, considering that. I mean, like they don't have a. Okay, so yeah, the Gato picked up as well as the Lapu.
Okay.
So this is just saying like, dude, you're pretty good at this hero. Could you do it again?
Yeah. So the question of where the Pokito is actually going to be will be answered here. Do they feel like they're still lacking in terms of
North
front?
America,
Or do they want to just double down on damage? Because I think
It's happened. Congrats to the champion, because this is gonna be a good one.
You can feel it in the arena. Lsʀɖ and Brig have given you their thoughts, but at this point, they're just fans. So am I here as well. It's a Game 7 at MSC. EWC 2026 has not disappointed, and you can't ask for anything better to end this tournament. Yangon Galacticos, first team Spirit, Game 7. Let's go!
Today we bear witness to history. One match, one opportunity. Who is it going to be? Is it Team Spirit, or is it gonna be the Yangon Galacticos as we go into our very final match? Yangon, they're showing a different side of their draft, but even for Team Spirit, the bans tell you a lot. The amount of respect that both of our warriors have put here today will not be forgotten in our history books of MLBB esports.
And you got to take those gambles in a Game 7. You can't just play around comforts. Well, you can, but obviously, look at this composition. YG, again, they pull off a composition that unorthodox, all-in style from the match, or the game, rather, that we saw against Falcons. It was all no frontliner. It's just Blink.
Really is just Blink so far. And I mean, the early game is going to determine everything that's going to happen. And Sawa understands when he is playing on this Gatot, there's a lot of work that he has to do in these early moments. Every decision that he takes could be the end for them. But I like the fact that at least for the side of Team Spirit, despite building their composition in a style where it's definitely having to play around Hiko, they still are willing to take the Lapu on their side to make sure that nobody can get to Hiko safely. Not without committing everything they got.
This time around, same idea. Sanji would walk up again on Hiko. This lane should be good for the Claude, and so far he's done an amazing job at utilizing, capitalizing on that. Now the fight, Gold Crab goes to Sanji. It's all about these small wins.
Small wins here. Ying getting shoved in pretty hard, knowing that a lot of the forces of TS have come down to his side of the lane. Any little advantage could be the difference maker here. And you can see that showing presence makes a huge difference. Now the traditional rotate over into the mid lane to get Sunset Lover as close to 4 as possible. And now that Kid Bomba is for himself, he wants to maintain pressure.
So far, Kaiser hasn't landed a single Abyssal arrow at the start of the game. That's going to be the bravest fighter from Bomba, zoning Han away. Blade Surge Blink out of the way. Ying making his way back in again. The retribution from Sour. Claiming the first turtle of game number 7.
Very tactical, very clean for the side of TS. We don't need to take unnecessary fights. We just need to be together. And now first blood achieved instantaneously. A good arrow coming in from Kaiser.
Kaiser hasn't played a single Selena game this tournament, and he decides to play it in Game 7. One arrow landed, a kill right after. Instant capitalization as YG look to play it slow. They look for those pickoffs, and it's about map control.
And so far, I mean, we need to see Ying do a lot more on his side of the map if they want to at least fight for the next turtle, right? That's the thing. So far, it's about intercepting for the side of the Yangon Galacticos. If they can slow down the rotations coming in from TS, then they get tempo, they get that first move. And we've seen teams, that alpha strike that Yangon Galacticos are so capable of with a composition that really benefits that style.
Now it's about that build.
Critical game
with nothing. Rapid trying to the flicker of Blink. Able to find him, but now he's giving the Blaze Surge on Sao. Instant talk cancels it. Sao, the AOG gets out just in time. Barely with a sliver of health.
Nicely done. Very, very nicely done here. There was a moment, a frame, a singular frame that Sawa was able to buffer out the AOG. The chain CC was really good. And honestly, the execution from Yangon was there. Unfortunately, they just didn't have enough stats to close it out. Back to the EXP, nothing much is happening here. Both Ying and Kid Bomba are playing a very neutral game. Ying will get first push most of the time, but he's never going to be able to tax Bomba.
There you go, this is the moment, man. Great cancels all around. Sunset Lover providing support, just not in range with Sawo. He found the angle, he found that super. That window to go in, Sawo again, trying to go for the clear, or the secure rather. On the mid up top it's Sawo, helping Hiko out of this lane. Turtle gonna be spawning in 3 seconds, and it's TS with the polarity.
Interesting. They're also bringing Hiko in for this potential fight. He's running the Purify as of right now, but he's going to be the safe haven that TS needs to fall back to. Sunset Lover is going to eat the Abyssal Arrow, but here we go.
Arrow lands on Sour. Bomba with a body block, as Sawo is able to zone blink away, and that's going to be the second neutral objective for free to Team Spirit.
Now these are the small little advantages that we were talking about here, right? Both sides refuse to give the lead up over to the other side, and naturally TS trying to play as a singular unit while Yangon Galacticos are looking for chinks in the armor. Now with the vision that we are getting from Kai's, he is very aware of the rotations coming up as our egoist. Oh, Ying.
Blade Surge from Han providing support, throws out the Queller, lands it on Bomba. A chunk of HP away, on the middle to take Blink to half HP. Abyssal Arrow lands, but it's only onto Sawo. Now in the bottom lane, he's getting the jungle. Oh, Red Tree win for Han with
Sky Piercer, rather interesting, but now as we see Sanji get out of the way here, and we're also seeing Hunter Strike being built by Ying as first item, not even opting to go Fury Hammer into War Axe. No, just needs the instantaneous burst.
We have to pull out the items. We have to see what items Bomba has gone for as well, because there's so much damage physical from YG. Bomba needs that Dreadnought or he's going to get popped.
The motions on the map is already telling us something here, right? We're already seeing that Ying has moved over into the mid lane, while the rest of the team's trying to cover for a potential attack from the side of TS. They read it out very, very well to clear out the Lethal Wanderer, to deny that vision. Unfortunately, no, wait, hold on.
This is a deep cut. This is a greedy cut.
This might be too deep, actually.
He dashes away, has the Bravest Fighter, is able to bait some resources, but it's going to be the Bravest Fighter on cooldown, though.
And also the Retribution as well, right? So now 15 seconds left.
Blink flickers too. TS with a small win. Set up by Bomba, another flicker.
They graze the chin. They graze the chin, and now they have an opportunity. Sanji is out of there. This should be a no contest unless they get hit by an Abyssal Arrow and gets one shot. But Sunset's Lover is still holding on to the Wrath of the Dryads. It's still 50-50 here.
Let's see it. He go to the muddles. Wrath of the Dryad already made it. Sour walks up again, is able to go for the untargetable. Han gonna be taking a half HP as Bomba walks in with Bravest Fighter! And he picks up the kill. Now onto Kaiser he goes. 3 turtles, all at TS.
Oh! And they go even further underneath the turret. They take him out. Sunset Lover kills Sanji. Team Spirit have been on the back foot the last 2 games. Game 5, Game 6, it was a YG stop. Team Spirit in this game, through the neutral objectives they played, they waited, they built those small wins, and then it exploded on YG. Feel the history in their movements. They understand what this game means to not only them, but every sacrifice they've made up until this point. God-given or not, right now, that's all they got to be. They just have to have some faith that every move is going to work out. Looking at the items finally, thank you, Smurf. You already see no completed items actually for the side of Han.
Bomba with a stun with the Bravest Fighter. That's going to be the taunt coming down as well, but that's going to be Sunset with a walk up, and that's going to be Bomba.
Chase பண்றாங்க முடிச்சுவாங்க நினைக்கிறேன் ஒரு ஹிட் தான் முடிச்சாங்க Hiko
Get the trade
Hila
on the opposite side. Ying tries
இந்த
his
மேட்ச்
best,
அடிக்க
but
முடியல
Ghosts
பக்கிட்ட
are
போல
able to iframe out of there, still having that level lead.
He can't go for this.
No, it's dangerous. You know that he's going to instantly get there, and Zaur, he's already on top of it. At this stage, TS, they're now starting to probe in enemy territory to see what's going to go happen. But, man, there's a lot of like weird moments in this game, especially for Yangon. It's sometimes like they forget, oh yeah, we can't really force without our battle spells. So I think Yangon, they just need to take a step back. It's about the timing of when they attack.
இவங்க செலீனா போயிருக்காங்களா செலீனா எடுத்தாலே லாஸ்ட் டைம்
Catching your opponents off guard. That's when the punches you don't see, and YG definitely didn't see that. Now, did he see this? Han walks up to aggressive members of Spirit Corral.
Again, TS not only taking into account the habits that have been made and little details in this game, but now they're getting really personal with each other, really taking into the account which camp he wants to be on and how he likes to chain his abilities.
Medals coming down as well as the sun doesn't land, but that's the abyssal arrow set. Oh, Sour, Rectory.
Close, very, very close. And even Ying was looking to get into position, but unfortunately could not find the angle at this point of time. Technicality from TS is immaculate here. And now they are really finding their motion with the next two item purchases, the Golden Staff and that Lightning Truncheon coming in from Sunset Lover. Kaise, he's got to be very, very careful jumping into these fights. The same can be said about Han. Ying has been a little out of it for a good amount of time, which is rather surprising. I would have imagined that he would be there in first position.
Team Spirit with the Lord, they have good siege as well. And YG, their clear is not that good. They have a Paquito that can go to the side lanes, but when it comes to dealing with the Lord, they're going to have to just group up together, and that means it's an opening for Bomba. It's an opening for Sunset Lover if he steals it, and Sour with the AoE as well. And you can see it right here. YG just got respected. Hiko in the bottom lane, sending Blink away. Sunset Lover waiting for a damage on them with the muddles.
Honestly, not bad. But here comes the second wave, and Hiko is going to start doing it again. Sunset Lover just stole away the Wrath of the Dryads. He's got Flicker, and he's ready to go.
Sunset Lover with the Wrath of the Dryad, able to find him now. Hiko killing spree, throws him around. Ying up top, running away. It's Bomba with the bravest fighter.
They're trying to drag these waves out. They're trying to distract them the whole time. Sanji, he's ready to go. He doesn't want dying for this. He's ready to put his life on the line to buy Yangon Galacticos a couple more seconds.
Hiko, mega kill. 4-0-2. Kaise finally able to get that arrow on a perfect target. It was Sour. It was Sunset that got caught. No bounty, however, it's only on Hiko.
Really high intensity game, man. I can feel it up into my chest. The atmosphere in here, that so many of these dangerous moves, I can't believe they haven't lost confidence in a lot of these motions. Yangon say, you know what, we have terrible wave clear, but if we cut the wave and we start pulling it out, we just bought ourselves another ticket at another Lord fight. They haven't lost any of their inhibitors. They lost the shielding, unfortunately, but what can you do?
The orange secured by Kaise. Really coming online now in the 10th minute of the game. These arrows are going to start to hurt, and if Kaise can find yet another one on a big target, it could send YG back to level playing field. Bomba taking it very low. Sanji already right there, but the BMI sends him back. He needs to play it safe.
Yeah, I think he needs to reset or at least find a wave to actually, heal himself back up to where he needs to be. 15 seconds left on the neutral objective. Before that Lord spawns, we need to see Hiko lose out on his Purify if Yangon stands any chance. Wait, hold on. Kid Bomba already trying to engage. Blink, he's in trouble!
The taunt, Sanji's right there, that's gonna be hard.
And they catch him! Double kill for Sour Equalist! This Lord should be free! And the question is, TS, you taking the discipline route, or are you going for the throw? Because they're looking to open up the inhibitor first.
It's the Dragon Siege. Hiko with the muddle, zoning them away. Han and Blink both down. Ying in the bottom lane. Again, they are going to play it safe. Sour was already on the Lord. They just cracked the base open. They recall and they reset.
And that's an elbow right to the temple there. Yangon Galacticos now have to worry about constantly pushing mid-wave during these neutral objectives. And worse yet, with a 7.1k lead, is it inevitable, or can there be the temple breaker that they've been praying for?
Hello?
YG have to defend. It's another siege. They have to find a creative way to the back. That's the only way. But then there's a wind of nature. Then there's a go way. There's Sawa who's constantly behind. How do they do this?
One arrow. They need to find it somewhere, somehow. Kaise is looking for an angle, but TS, they are spreading very, very wide to ensure that there is no way.
Now
with the abyssal traps as well, trying to slow down that wave. It doesn't actually connect on the wave, and now here they go.
Bundle's already placed. Lord going to be dealt with now with the wave.
Please
Come crashing down. That's a big catch now. One final wave in the bottom lane, but Ying is caught all alone. Sawa with the chase with.
He's able to delay this wave, and that's perfect because look at that top side. Instantly, we're seeing Han is able to do something else. He trades his life for something greater than himself. But it's not over just yet. That wave is still healthy. They still have the siege, and they even absorb the abyssal arrows. It didn't connect.
Shots on Kaise. So severed from Han, clears out the wave. They stay alive. YG.
Oh my goodness, this game could not get more exciting. I'm already off my seat. My knees are getting weak. My arms are heavy. Watching this match progress. I think it's going to come down to whether or not Blink can find a super engagement, or whether Sunset Lover can finally get a punish onto YG.
I think for Team Spirit, they don't need to go for any risks. It's YG right now that needs to look for a wild haymaker to knock Spirit out. Spirit can just build. They've got the points. They got an 8.5k gold lead. Waves to play with. A Lord spawning. All they need to do is suffocate YG. Don't give them anything to farm up. The wave up top and the mid lane, it's a guaranteed slow pushing anyways, but the bottom wave, keep it right there. The jungle, take it all, snatch it all, away from YG.
Yep, they don't. YG unfortunately can't just sit there and take it. They're already in the guard of TS, but they cannot give under their throw. They can't give their backs up as well. They're willing to sacrifice an arm and a leg, but that's the necessary cost to win the fight. That's so big. Now Sawa has been playing a very, very tight game. His engage is not only being a lot of the space for Han.
For Sunset Lover, now Blink, the only frontliner, is going to have even more trouble to deal with the damage output from Spirit.
Well, Sanji, he's going to have to try his best here, and I totally understand.
Arrow lands.
No. They still got plenty of bodies there. They're going to cover for him every single time. Even if it slips on through.
Not going to try it. Baits out the Purify. That could be the angle. Now the next fighter from Baba is going to be jumping. Won't be able to land with a stun. It's a big resource burnt out with a Purifier, but it's a flicker out for Blink.
And they got nothing out of Team Spirit. The abyssal arrows are now getting denied away. Kaise, he's going to try.
Catch பண்ணிருக்கு. முடிச்சிட்டாங்களா? இல்ல. ட்ரை பண்ணாங்க நடக்கல. அங்க ஜங்லரை முடிச்சிட்டாங்க. வெற்றி பெற்றிருக்காங்க. வெற்றியை நம்ம உள்ள போய் ஸ்டீல் பண்ணலாம்ன்றது. ஜங்லரே முடிச்சிட்டாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் உள்ள போய் டச் பண்ணிட்டாங்க.
Bomba right there. Sanji with the beam. The bottom lane with the wave up top is going to be good. AOG coming down, and Sanji's going to be dealing with the wave in the bottom lane, but that's going to be the burst damage for Ying to be taken out. Blink next to the top. Jumps in with a stun. Sanji right there, but it's not enough.
Every great legend starts
Team Spirit won the game.
Dream. Remember tonight. Remember when the dragons first took flight.
An apex predator arises.
The dragons have awoken! Team Spirit are your champions!
Congratulations to EECA. They walk away shattering dreams, but accomplishing something bigger than themselves. Every sacrifice given today, every blood, sweat, and tear for this moment.
MSC has never seen a champion from outside of Southeast Asia. This year, we were heading out to Paris. From Saudi, from Cambodia, from regions of the past, no team has wandered this far, but Spirit have done it.
That being said, congratulations to Team Spirit. We're throwing it over the roads for that championship moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, your newest champion of MSC at EWC. Give it up for Team Spirit! Boys, congratulations. What a journey you guys have been through. However, before we even continue with our trophy lift, we are first going to crush some keys. So if you guys could follow me to our key crusher over here at the back. Come on over, guys. Emotions are overpouring today. I have a question. Who wants to be crushing the key?
அதான் ஃபர்ஸ்டே சொல்லிட்டேன் மொபைல் இன்சூரன்ஸ் எதுவுமே வாங்கல கார்ப்பரேட் ஸ்ட்ரைக்
This is a historic moment for the
கீ கிரஷ் பண்ண போறாங்களா
Their debut in M1 and now finally they are international champions as well. As Lsʀɖ and Sunset Lover are getting ready to crush some keys. The emotions are overpouring here on the stage. And there you guys have it. Team Spirit is your champions this MSC. Dropping and sending Yangon Galacticus home as the second. This has been a moment everybody has been waiting for. Such a feat for the EECA region. And there you guys have it. Alright guys, if we can now head on over to the front. It is time to claim what is yours. Make your way over to your trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Team Spirit. You may raise your trophy in 3, 2, 1.
Team Spirit won.
Such a historic day for the world of mobile legends. Bang bang. Amazing history in the making, Kid Bomba. Everybody saw you in M5. Everybody was rooting for you. You guys were so close to the knockout stages in M6. And now you're a champion. How are you feeling right now?
I don't know, it's unreal, you know, I don't believe this is real. I'm like touching myself the whole time, I cannot believe it. I don't know.
I understand, you're definitely overwhelmed. But there's somebody we have to talk to here. Sao, Sunset Lover. Years in the making and finally you guys are champions. What does this championship mean to you both?
I don't know so much. We're finally champions. Finally.
That was hard work, and it's the result of hard work.
The result of hard work. And I see over here, Hiko Mania. He is very emotional today. We saw him debut on the international stages back at M6, where it was held in Kuala Lumpur. Everybody hailed him as Hiko Mania. Hiko, today you finally made it. You lifted a trophy of your own. How do you feel to finally achieve such a dream?
I'm feeling grateful for everyone who came support us and for my team. And thank you everyone.
We're all so proud of you. And of course, the young jungler, the new face, the newcomer, Zor Egoist. Coming into this tournament, a lot of people had their eyes on you because everybody was saying that you are a great jungler. But at such a young age already winning your first championship in the international stages. What is next for you? What else do you want to achieve in MLBB?
Congrats, Team Spirit. நான் சொல்றதே உங்களுக்கு கேட்காது. யாரும் உங்களை சொல்ல போறது இல்லை. எல்லாரும் சொல்லிக்கிறேன். ஓகே गाइस, மீண்டும் நாளை சந்திப்போம். அதுவரை விடைபெறுகிறேன். இல்ல நாளைக்கு சந்திப்போம். நாளை ஸ்பைடர் மேன் பார்க்க போறேன். திங்கட்கிழமை சந்திப்போம். அதுவரை விடைபெறுவது உங்கள் டாம் அண்ட்